All righty. What is going on, fellas? Today we are back with tons of Dynasty Decisions talk here. We got, I believe, 11 trades, 14 team reviews, or 15 team
Let's
reviews
go.
that we're going through here. And as always, as we've introduced this new product, for those of you guys that don't know, annual Mother Flockers get a free Dynasty Decisions 2.0, which is this baby right here that we did for JH Davis, or Danny did for JH Davis.
Yep.
And gives you 3 actionable steps, all the starting lineup, team depth stuff that you could go into. We're talking through it on this, doing the team review as we've always done it. And then after the live stream, if you guys have submitted your DD 2.0 voucher, and I think, roughly 10 of you guys did in this stream, you'll be sent your DD 2.0 template there in the next 48 to 72 hours, I would imagine. We're going to try and get a 2-day turnaround, hopefully. But depending on how many we have in the queue, that'll fluctuate. But the goal is to have them to you pretty shortly after the stream.
And that's one of the perks for you guys. If you do have your 2.0 vouchers, get them in as soon as possible, because more than likely, if you're sooner in the order, you're going to get that, a lot sooner back to you. So if you have your vouchers, submit them right away. If you wait a little longer, it could take a little longer to get them back.
Yeah, exactly. And make sure as well that we'll make sure, as well, that we'll get through these a little faster. Because 15 reviews, that we could be here for about 3 to 5 days. Based on our normal pace, but we're going to try and keep it going here.
Yeah.
Okay. Let's go through the trades first. We have about 11 trades. Like I said, Hurtz is bad. This might relate to the team review, I will say, because it came right after. Puka Nacua in an early to mid second in exchange for Tedero, McMillan, and Rashee Rice. So you're getting 2 guys that one projects as a wide receiver 1 this year, one projects probably high end wide receiver 2 this year in exchange for Puka in a second here.
Yeah, start 9 league, 2 quarterback. I'm curious if we take a look at the team context. Let's just take a look real quickly, because he's in a position where he would potentially need to. Yeah, so he's lacking depth. I don't mind this move here. You still are able to get back 18, 19 points per game level with Rashee Rice. You get another strong wide receiver that's going to immediately be a starter for you. And you do get a little bit younger in terms of getting a guy like Tedero and McMillan for the long term. On top of that, it also puts you in a potential opportunity to, soft retool this team. You have a lot of capital accumulated already. You now have a guy like Kyron Williams you can sell for, whether it's a similarly rated running back that's younger or potentially even draft capital. If you're able to get Kyron off this team and make this type of move, I do think it opens you up to also possibly, could you sell Rashee Rice for peak value in season when he's giving you 18, 19 per game? Ultimately, when I'm looking at where you stack up in terms of the teams in your league, 9th overall valuation, probably about the middle of the range in terms of the contending rankings, I do think this is a team that would be willing to break down assets like Puka, sell straight up assets like Kyron, and then whatever you get in the packages for Puka. Again, tech can be a building block. Rashee Rice, you have an opportunity to sell high later.
Yeah, exactly. I think that makes a lot of sense when you're in a position where you can't quite compete and you got to tear down from some certain players. And that's something that if, we might even talk about in his review when we do it. We might be talking about tearing down. He did actually purchase a regular live team review, which is obviously an option as well for people. So we won't be doing a 2.0 for his when we do it.
So C. Morris asked, how do we get a voucher? So anybody that is a what's called year-long site subscriber, you can go click that link, code FSC. Again, year-long, you'll be able to get a DD 2.0. You can submit to us.
Yeah, it's pretty straightforward. The DD 2.0 is a tier 2 team review. You get 1 annual free voucher as a Mother Flocker, but you can also purchase more if you're so inclined, obviously. But you do get 1 per year on the Mother Flocker there. So let me get another free voucher so y'all can clown them some teams in my league. And to be clear, when we grant you guys vouchers for like getting a lot of likes on the stream, we're not granting 2.0 vouchers. We're granting regular review vouchers as we're doing here. Let's get out of here.
Yeah, misinformation, Fantasy Savage.
Yeah, you don't know the context of the situation. Anyways, Luther Burden, early to mid first, early to mid second. I mean, I sold Luther Burden for a very similar price tag. However, it was a 27 first that I sold for. What are your thoughts on this deal?
Well, so obviously I'm going to have them a lot higher than 66 overall. So if I organize this by my rankings, if I just open up the tab here, boom, Flock Fantasy, go to calculator. Here, sorry, my apologies. Okay, so Luther Burden, and then it was what, 2028 early to mid first, and 2027 early to mid second. Okay, 2027 early to mid second. I go to my rankings, boom. So I have this still as a win for the first and second. The way I kind of have them evaluated is I have the early to mid first about in line where you do 56 overall. You have it at 59. Early to mid second, I have at 99. You have at 107. So pretty similar as well. I do have Burden ranked at 50. So even despite me being 16 spots higher, it still has it it still has it as a win for the team getting the 2 picks.
Yeah. Yeah, again, I think that getting out of the risk that I view Luther Burden to be a little bit more risky than you do, I guess. That would be worth it for me. Jeremiah Love in exchange for Carnell Tate and Kraft. This is a smash, Jeremiah Love. Like 101 to 102 is not a huge difference, but I mean, it's worth giving up Kraft to go up that pick, in my opinion.
Yeah, in most leagues, you're probably looking at least an extra mid to late first rounder on top of that Carnell Tate Tucker Kraft package. So as much as I love Tate, I mean, Jeremiah Love, he's going to profile into maybe a 17 plus point per game back as soon as his rookie year.
Yeah, and also make sure we probably won't be able to give away any review vouchers today. Just FYI.
We got a ton.
Yeah, we got a ton already in the hopper, but make sure you guys do hit the like button on the stream. It really helps us out, reach more people. And also, too, if you do submit a team review today, depending on how fast we're going, we don't know what our pace is going to look like yet. Asking questions like this, Jaden, in the comments are going to cause us to go longer because we're going to have a 14-minute long argument about Luther Burden.
I feel like those are bait at this point. Like you guys know the like contentious players between myself and Corey, so you'll just throw their name in chat, kind of like when you're at a
what do you guys? I've never heard what you guys think about Michael Wilson and Marvin Harrison. I've never heard that. I haven't heard that take yet.
It's like being at the park throwing little breadcrumbs on the path and then being shocked when birds come and fight for it.
Yeah. So continuing on with these trades here, another Luther Burden question. We have Malik Neighbors in exchange for Luther Burden, an early first and a mid first. I believe Meet the Flocker submitted this last live stream, but had to say in the chat, hey, I forgot to put Neighbors on the other side of that deal. Given the context of the Neighbors health situation, I think this deal becomes a lot closer for me because I would probably have still taken Neighbors otherwise. But if you're very high on Luther Burden, I think this is a very good package to move off of Neighbors. I still would almost slightly prefer Neighbors, but it depends how early that one is too. Is that going to be 101? Is that more 101 to 104? Like, what are we talking for the price tag there?
I'm taking Burden in the picks. Ultimately, again, maybe we're misaligned here, but I do think the ceiling for Burden could be a potential, mid-end type of wide receiver 1. And then at that point, it's like, even if that's not the case, even if on a more realistic end, you're looking at a high-end wide receiver 2, I do like it in the installation, especially given the fact that it's labeled as a 27 early first. I have that valued as a 2-3 turn type of asset, especially knowing the context. If that's Jeremiah Smith right off the bat, you easily win this deal. If that's Arch Manning, I would still argue that you win this deal. And then the only real case where it's like about even, if not maybe you slightly lose, would be the 103 not having an emerging talent. Because ultimately, like, Cam Coleman could
also lose this if Neighbors is just an absolute monster and Burden's like not as good as we think he's going to be.
Sure. But I would argue that even knowing that, having a top 3 pick in next year's rookie class at least evens it out no matter what happens.
Yeah, it cushions the blow. I think if you're a gambler and you're like, hey, I love Burden, I'm going to be all in on Burden, I think this is absolutely worthwhile for sure.
Yeah, and this is my point Scribbles makes too. Like, if this was a mid first, I wouldn't be talking as glowing, but the fact that it's the, potential top 3, top 4 overall pick, like, that's how high I am on next year's class, because we didn't even talk about Cam Coleman. Like, what if Cam Coleman's even like a Carnell Tate caliber player? Then at that point, it's Burden, a Carnell Tate, plus an extra first.
Yeah, so I'm gonna try to find the team with Burden on it here.
Yeah.
So this is the team with Burden, and I'm assuming it's not his one that he'd be giving up. So it's probably Lank and Matty Ice's one, if I had to guess.
Those teams.
Lank is his team's near the bottom, and Matty Ice is near the bottom as well. This is also a 10-team league for what it's worth too. So mid first is 104 to 107 or whatever. This team's in pretty rough shape. I'd say you feel pretty confident, like you said, you're going to get one of those top 3-ish players in the 2027 class. Again, if you're very high on Burden, I think this is a very worthwhile deal. I will say, though, if you saw his team, he had like 11 elite players. So giving up Neighbors to unconsolidate on an already elite team, maybe not necessarily a direction I would go, but you could always upgrade and consolidate to a player who's healthy right now.
Also, big time context, I just noticed, it is a 1 quarterback league. So I just noticed that as well. So I mentioned Arch Manning. It'd probably be more likely if it's Jeremiah Smith, obviously easy dub. Then it's Cam Coleman at the 102.
Probably see what happens with many men.
Yeah, and I mean, who knows? Ryan Coleman Williams, etc. someone like that.
It's a pretty close trade, though. Very close. Also, appreciate that. Caleb, you're in the chat here. You should explain the context and misinformation. Okay.
Our devs have been working. All I'll say is our devs have been working on a tool for far longer than this meeting even occurred. So if that's what you're explaining, that, oh, we all of a sudden came up with this idea, that is completely false. That has been something we've been talking about in meetings literally since 2024. Yeah.
Also, too, like, the idea was based on RotoViz's existing tool. Yeah. So technically, RotoViz already had this idea first. And it's like a minor 10% part of the whole overlay that we have. Again, Mason's a better person to ask about this. Yeah. I didn't meet with this guy. I have no idea what the context of those meetings were. I know basically as much about this situation as you do, with the other added context of we're in meetings with devs and knowing how long they've been working on this.
We can only speak on the perspective of we've been in the meetings talking about this way prior to the reported date that Mason met with this guy. Yeah. So there was already something that was launching in existence.
Yeah, but I understand the guy's frustration, to be fair. Like, I understand why he'd be frustrated. I just don't know all the context, so I'm not really going to comment on it.
Well, that's the problem that I have is now Mason's getting a lot of people coming at his neck without completely understanding the context. And it just bothers me because I know how that's like. Like, I mean, for example, you know, last year in the Flock League, it was similar. People were coming at me without the context. And I just feel like when people don't understand the full picture, their natural reaction is to act on what they do know without trying to get the full picture.
Yeah, that's my biggest mentality kind of situation for sure. Okay, next up we have Patrick Mahomes, Amari and Hampton for Caleb Williams, Trevion Henderson. Now, I see a much larger discrepancy between Amari and Hampton and Trevion Henderson than I do between Mahomes and Caleb Williams. As great as Caleb Williams is.
Even as a Trevion Henderson guy, I do like the Mahomes and Hampton package. Realistically, as much as I like Caleb Williams, the only reason you would make this type of move is because you're like, oh, Mahomes getting older, Caleb Williams 24 years old, I would get 7 years extra. But the fact that Hampton just so easily projects into a top 5 to 6 running back this year, to me, makes it a no-brainer.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, and I get it, Fantasy Savage. You know, you watched a video or something like that. Like, you probably got a perspective. It's not directed at you when I say that. It's more so just the entire community forming an opinion without completely understanding things.
Yeah, the long and short of it, Epic Pig, is that someone on YouTube is claiming that Mason stole his idea. I guess they had a meeting at some point. But our, I guess, point of view and vantage point is that we've been talking about this for a long time. So even if there was like a 5-10% overlap in this guy's idea versus what Mason was doing, I promise you Mason is very on top of everything, and he probably already thought of that to begin with. And also Mason shared on Twitter all of the full disclosure. This is all the conversations that took place. So again, I would say I would just ask Mason about it. 100%. Anyways, let's keep it rolling here. Another trade question we have: Tedero McMillan in a mid first for CeeDee Lamb. He said he has Lamb, Metcalf, and Pierce and Higgins. I'm assuming that is Jaden Higgins based on him listing him fourth. Maybe it's T. Not sure.
Probably Jaden if he lists him after Pierce. This is a relatively decent deal. It is a 1 quarterback league, so I'm also going to keep that in mind.
Yeah, and with the context of fair trade, I think I'd keep Lamb in a 1 quarterback start 9 personally.
And it's super flex.
Like if it was London in a mid first, I would be on board for doing this. But McMillan is just a tick down from where I'd want him to be.
Yeah, I'm on the same page with you. If it was a super flex as well, I think you're getting a little closer there too. Because a super flex mid?
Yeah, mid first and a super flex, so you got a chance at QB2 or RB1 or wide receiver 2 or 3. Like you're probably in decent shape with the pick you're getting.
Well, exactly. The 2 of the best known players that we know for next year, because I didn't even mention his name when I talked about potential 103s in the last team. But I mean, Dante Moore is easily going to be there. He was already talked about his top 6 rookie pick this year. And if he has another strong year, Oregon potentially wins the national championship, then at that point, he's probably locked in again. Better class, but still being a top 3 to 5 rookie pick, or a top 3 to 5 rookie pick, top 3 to 5 NFL pick as well.
Yeah, agreed. Baduki, CJ Stroud, James Cook, and Jack Besh in exchange for Jaden Daniels, 1 quarterback league. Keep in mind, 1 quarterback league. Jaden Daniels, David Montgomery, Blake Corum. This is James Cook, and it's not even close to me. Like, I get Jaden's a great asset in general because he's, a rushing quarterback. And in a 1 quarterback league, I just think the flatness of the quarterback position, there's so many good options. If you have 2 or 3 that you can stream matchups for, I like the James Cook side here.
Yeah, and appreciate that, Fantasy Savage. Appreciate that.
I'm muting you as well. I just didn't want to talk about it.
No, I get it. That's why I
it's just none of my business. You know what I mean? Like that's why I don't want to talk about it.
Well, all I can share is our perspective on it. And our perspective is, knowing that what a lot of the community didn't. Like, a lot of the community genuinely thinks we only did this because of this meeting. Like, no, like, we've been talking about that behind the scenes for much longer. So, if a lot more people knew that, maybe they would change their tune. Is basically my perspective.
Just how it goes, man. People don't know context of certain situations, but I think I'm going James Cook. So I don't really need much more analysis on this trade. It's pretty easy
all day.
Get Rich 80. He does have a team review shortly after this, so just keep that in mind. Maybe once we get to that team review. Jared Goff, AJ Brown in exchange for Luther Burden Day. Apparently, is everyone's trading away or for Luther Burden here. Jared Goff and AJ Brown for Luther Burden, a mid to late projected first here.
Seems like a fair deal. I would want to know the team context.
He said I could swap Goff for Shuck, and he has Olave. I mean, I personally would prefer Goff.
Yeah.
But if you have Olave and you believe in Shuck, I think that's a reasonable trade. Like, they're not that far off in terms of overall value for me. And he said the first would be likely late, like a 9 to 12.
Can we take a look at the team too? Because I am curious, A, if I can send a counter here, and B, if it's because I think it's an even swap, but okay, so he wouldn't do any other receiver.
Yeah, like he needs a quarterback too, very clearly, because Mac Jones, Jacoby Brissett in a super flex league, you're definitely going to need a second quarterback. To me, Goff is a lot more safe, which in your situation I would prefer to Shuck, because I want a guy who's a little bit cleaner of a projection long term.
Is this PPR?
Yeah, it's PPR, and he doesn't have. He's not giving up his 27 first.
Okay. He is though.
He's 28 first that he's giving up. He said first would be 9 to 12. Now, I just be careful a little bit. Like, your team is good, don't get me wrong, but I wouldn't go out and say that this is guaranteed in 2028 and 9 to 12 first.
Can you sort by contender? Not because this is a team review. My counter would be, realistically, can you send Tootin in that package?
Yeah, you could send Tootin that way, or you could even I'm fine with the terms of the deal, because you're getting a really productive receiver in AJ Brown, and you're getting the mid to late one. It's essentially a wash to me. It's like Goff is worth more than a mid to late projected 28 first in my mind, but it makes up for the fact that Burden is worth slightly more than AJ Brown for me. So you're higher on Burden, so I'd say maybe you're more so on the Burden side of this deal, but I think given the context of his team, I'm fine with it.
Well, that's why I would counter with Bashal Tootin plus the first. And because A, you already have numbers at running back, and B, if you give up Burden for another receiver, like, you already need depth at wide receiver, why not just try to maneuver a running back into a receiver? Is kind of where I'm at with it.
Yeah, it's a pretty close deal. I'm cool going Burden side if you want to, just on face value, because also too, like, Burden has a lot of value. If he starts to peak, you can get a lot for him. It's just he's got to figure out his quarterback too situation. So I understand the trade. I would personally, instead of doing a trade structured this way, I would rather take my 27 first and my 28 first and go buy a real, like, solid quarterback. Like, would take 2 firsts worth of value and see how close that gets you to a Trevor Lawrence, to a Brock Purdy, to like, I'd even be willing to pay for, like, Dak Prescott plus another productive wide receiver or something like that would be fine with me.
I'm on the same page with you there.
But anyways, DL Mar here, Malik Neighbors, also subject of a lot of these trades, possibly contending this year / next year, but worried about depth. Hold Neighbors, or is this good value? I mean,
those twos in a one quarterback mean nothing to me.
Yeah, I mean, they don't mean a lot for sure in a one quarterback league in early to mid second. It's potentially a late first worth of value in a 10 team, but it's not significantly moving the needle. The question is, Rashee Rice, Breece Hall, is the patchwork of those two players going to make up for the fact that you're losing a superstar level asset? If you're not contending this year, I tend to lean towards holding Malik Neighbors.
Well, that's the thing, because even though the calculator does point to slight win, I will counter back and say in a 10-team start 8, I would almost need it to be a robbery.
Yeah, and in this league, like, your team is like, your running back core is a little weak for a competitive. I mean, you're going to add Jeremiah Love. Like, this team's pretty good. I don't know if this is a could contend this year, could contend next season, to be honest. Like, you look at this team, he's going to add Jeremiah Love to this team. Like, I think this team can win right away.
That's what I mean. Like, in a 10-team start 8, I'm just keeping Malik Neighbors now.
Yeah, but, well, it makes it more appealing to me that Breece Hall and Rashee Rice are contending assets, at least that he could contend. You know what I mean? Like, that would be the other side of this.
But I would argue, even when you add Jeremiah Love, you're probably already just instantly contending. In a 10-team start 8?
I think I just weather the storm with Malik, to be honest, because I think once Malik is healthy, like, somebody's trying to take advantage of the news of Malik Neighbors right now. You know what I mean? Once Malik is on the field, people are going to go, oh, he's worth way more than, this. Like, you'd probably get a first on top of this instead of the 2 seconds.
Yes, sir. Let's go. Shout out Mason. I cannot wait for football.
I also cannot wait for football as well.
Instantly, when I saw the schedule, Mason, and I saw that the Cowboys are playing in Indianapolis, right away, I went right to the domain guys, and I'm like, hey, listen, like, we gotta do something for this game. That's the Flock League content too. Like like I play Avery or Nathan that week, and like it's the week the Cowboys play in Indiana, and we link up for it.
What do you know? What date it is? Like what the actual day is?
Let me take a look. So it would be week 9, I believe, which is early November. I want to say. It'd probably be early to mid-November.
Okay, give me the actual date if you can, because I want to see the cost of flying there.
Okay. Let me take
Probably
a look.
not the most excellent podcasting at the moment, looking up flights, but I just want to check. It's related to the Flock League, so it could be kind of interesting.
Sunday, November 8th.
Sunday, November 8th.
At 1 p.m.
November 8th, it's a $700 flight.
One way?
Yeah. No, round trip, but for one person, it's a $700 flight.
Fucking A.
Yeah. Maybe not really worth doing.
I'm doing it regardless, but
you're gonna spend $700 to fly to Indianapolis of all places.
Well, what would it be on the Saturday night?
I'm looking Friday or Saturday, or like it's all $700.
Yeah. Even still, it's probably gonna get cheaper the closer you get to the season.
I mean, it's an hour and 50-minute flight. Like it's a direct, quick, easy flight, $700. But for one person flying,
I'm going regardless.
Minutes, like it should be a $400 flight at most, in my opinion.
So I don't disagree. I'm gonna go regardless. So like if you want to come, like that'd be great. But like I want to go to at least one game this year, and it just makes so much sense logistically, knowing that they live down there. We wouldn't have to pay for like fucking
that's true.
Like a hotel and shit like that.
I mean, I probably would though, because I don't want to assume that they're gonna host us at their house. Like Avery's gonna have 2 young children at that point in time.
We would obviously have to like clear stuff too. Like we with them.
Guess let go and let God here with a great Catholicism name that he has here. Lad McConkey for the 104. Straight up. I mean, it's essentially neighbors versus Lemon versus Lad for me, because I would assume in most leagues you would get Lemon with the 104 based on all the rookie drafts that I've done. I would rather have Lemon. So
I would rather Lemon or Mendoza. So give me that.
Yeah. So I don't know why it says you slightly lose. Maybe I need to I have the 104 ranked ahead of Lad. So I'm not really sure.
That might just be a visual glitch.
Might just be a visual glitch. No, maybe it's something factoring in there. But Sawyer here. Trevion Henderson. This is a deal for Brock Bowers. So you'd be giving up Brock Bowers for Henderson, mid to late first, 201, second, Kraft. This is a 1 quarterback start 8. So Bowers is going to be a major hammer in this format.
But then I'm also getting prime Kraft when he comes back, who's probably going to give me 14 points per game, and I'm getting an RB1 upside, and I'm getting all those picks. Like,
let's see what the team looks like for Sawyer here.
Yeah, he's the number 1.
You're number 1 in the analyzer. There's no fucking way I'm selling Brock Bowers, to be honest with you.
But question, if he counters and says, instead of the 2 and the 201, you give me another first round pick on this deal.
Yeah, I would do it then.
Okay. So that's what I counter.
I'm not that high. I'm not as high on Kraft as you are. I'm not as high on Trevion as you are.
So he made this deal is what he's saying. Okay, gotcha.
Okay, yeah. So if you bought Bowers for this, I think that's fair. Yeah.
Yeah.
Especially if now that you've done, like if this is a deal that's finished, like you have Bowers on your roster, and you sold the rest of that stuff, I think that's a reasonable deal to make. You're a little sketchy at running back for a contending team, but I still like the like the deal structure generally. And then we have
both our reactions, it was a fair deal.
Yeah. NSAB 22, Tyler Warren I want Tyler Warren pretty easily here.
Yeah. I take Warren.
It would only leave me with 3 good running backs. My team is the top contender. I mean, your team is the top contender, but your 3 good running backs are these 3 running backs, which I'm totally fine with.
And you have Judge Judy's first.
Yeah, and
the number 11 on the analyzer.
Yeah, not to mention, okay, worst case scenario, you got to play some other running backs for a week or two. Like Ramondre can be usable. Like you got to there.
We got to go see what Judge Judy has cooking now. We have to see what Judge Judy's cooking.
I mean, he's got a McCaffrey, so
yeah, it's not okay for an 11 on the analyzer.
Number 11 in value, but he has a good team.
Hey, that might be one of the best number 11 analyzed teams that I've seen. So
yeah, it's pretty tight league here, minus Bing Bong here.
Who's you? So that's a good sign.
Yeah. no, exactly. So, okay, do we have any other trade questions or can we get to the reviews? I think we are good. So, as I made mention to, live in the pin chat right now, you can get a team review. I cannot promise you we'll get to your team review today because we have like 14, 15 team reviews to get through. You can subscribe to the site. Annual Motherflockers get a free Dynasty Decisions 2.0 voucher. Ergo, we will break down your team on a live team review. And then after the live team review, we will send you the 2.0, which looks like this, as you guys can see it here, that Danny did for JH Davis a couple days ago. You can see we break down the starting lineup. We have the team depth, the draft picks, etc., and then your biggest 3 decisions and an action plan for you to follow to go forward. That is free with an annual Motherflocker subscription now, and you also get you can purchase those if you are so inclined. So Hurtz is bad. This is not a 2.0. So keep that in mind. We won't have to do a 2.0 for this. He did just purchase a regular team review outright. Philly Fanatics is his team, so big Eagles fan, I would imagine. Just looking to see where to upgrade. I feel like Tyler and Tyson on the Saints can be a hit for me, but I maybe should sell to tier up somewhere else. I generally agree with that statement as someone who's not super high on Tyson or Tyler Shuck. But
given his team context, like I wouldn't like. I think if you try to tier up too much here, you probably lose too much in terms of depth. Like you don't have a lot of depth to be able to play with.
Yeah, there's not like I don't look at this and go, oh, you have a bank of 3 extra ones to tier up with.
Honestly, I think your best path towards upgrading somewhere might be taking Stowers plus your 27-2 and seeing if you can get another flex piece.
Yeah. This is a team that I kind of just want to wait and see with. You know what I mean? Like your team's listed as a strong rebuilder. That pick could be anywhere from 103 to 105 if things go poorly this season to 109 to 110 if things go well this season. I don't think this team is probably good enough to win either. To be honest, like if I look at,
is this a team you sell Garrett Wilson on?
I mean, maybe. Like if I sort by contender rankings, I'm curious where he ends up. Like he's literally 12th in contender rankings.
That's what I'm saying. Like, do you sell Garrett Wilson?
Yeah, I mean, Garrett's a young player who's going to get a quarterback upgrade next year. I think he's a really solid 1-year punt type of player.
What if you can get a 1 and 2
producing like he produced last year? You could definitely sell him.
You get like a 1 and 2 for him. You doing that?
Yeah. Ergo is my favorite word. Yeah, ergo is a big word for me. I think this is a team that you just let mature, let it develop. See, like if you have selling windows, Kamani Vidal has a couple of big weeks because Hampton's out, you sell him. If Tyrone Tracy works into the backfield as a starter at some point, you sell him. Chuba Hubbard, maybe he's producing week 1 to 4. He's like a top 10 running back in fantasy. You sell him at that point. Like this is one of those teams where I'm going to trim the fat from during the season and then basically be on my merry way in 2027 once I spend my picks.
I'd be remiss if I didn't say who has Carnell Tate.
Yeah, I mean, Tate is a good option to go after. What are you going to do with, how are you going to get him? You're going to sell Wilson?
I mean, who has him? Who has him? Like you said, a team that's like contending. I'm curious. Balanced team. He's number 2 receiver.
Yeah, I mean, you could sell this guy. Hey, you want to sell Garrett Wilson for Carnell Tate? Yeah. You're a contending team. Garrett Wilson probably going to be better this season because he's, a veteran. He's not going to take as much time. The Jets could be better with Geno Smith, blah, blah, blah. You sell him a filet mignon, even though the Jets offense is shit sandwich.
That's basically my process when I see teams. It's like, oh, I have a piece like Drake London. How can I down tier him to a Carnell Tate? Or how can I maneuver a Garrett Wilson to a Carnell Tate? Knowing that my window here with May, a younger quarterback, Hampton, like you can wait a year still realistically, even though he's, a competitive running back, because a running back is inherently competitive. He's 22 years old. And Aronde Gatz and guys like that, like they all fill a young youth aesthetic to the point where if you can transition down, get a 22-year-old prime receiver, like you're laughing.
Yeah, it's funny that you and I just said oh, just tell them that the offense is going to be better and stuff. It's almost like you and I are the sons of 70 combined years of sales experience between our two dads. Like it's funny that it bleeds over into our dynasty trade strategy. That my dad's a fucking car salesman. I literally act like a car salesman sometimes. And
it's so funny because even if you remember the Flock League video after the draft last year, when I'm just wheeling and dealing, making moves at the freaking meetup, and people are like, "Oh, Danny's getting going," and I'm like, "Well, I mean, my dad was a car salesman for 20 years, and then he transitioned into a literal fucking real estate agent." So it's I do have that in my blood.
Yeah, I know. My dad sold advertising for 25 years and has been a general sales manager at a car dealership for 17 years now. So we got we got a solid 70 years of combined sales experience between our two parents. So,
and we've sure heard them yap.
Yeah, we heard them yap. We heard them yap for sure. But it's in his blood. Yeah. Anything else on Philly Fanatics team? Because to me, this is a very straightforward. You hold a lot of what you got here. The one guy that that sticks out to me as somebody I'd probably want to cash out on is if your league mates aren't paying attention and don't know about the whole AJ Brown thing, maybe you can cash out on Romeo Dobbs right now before AJ gets added. And the other guy too is Chuba Hubbard. Before we start hearing positive reports about Jonathan Brooks potentially, maybe you can sell one of your league mates, hey, Chuba Hubbard's this great running back. He's going to be the starting back. Jonathan Brooks, 2 ACL tears, even going to play this year. Like you can really facsimile some production for Chuba Hubbard. So I would suggest maybe trying to sell those guys right now. But other than that, I think you can go into the season and kind of see what pops up for you.
Yeah, for sure.
So we can, he basically just said any other thoughts and tier up. I wouldn't tier up on a team like this, I guess, to be clear, is that you don't really have the assets to do that. Like I wouldn't be selling picks to try and tier up or anything like that.
Yeah, I'm on the same page. Actually, I would be more willing to tier down, get some youth, and then, maybe insulate yourself with extra pick capital. So, yeah.
All right. So Foster, and again, Foster, we will send you your Dynasty Decisions 2.0 within 2-3 days after this stream is over. He's going to be the first of the teams that we're going to be doing that for. So, again, Dynasty Decisions 2.0, this is how it's going to work. We're going to break down the live team review as we normally would have. And then afterwards, one of us will make the 2.0 for them based on what we talked about. Foster's team, Cuatro, is shout out to Spanish. We have 6th in the analyzer here. It's a balanced team. You have Jahmyr Gibbs as your main running back, but behind Jahmyr Gibbs, you don't really have anything else there. Danny just pops out for no reason. Patrick Mahomes, Jared Goff, Sam Darnold is the quarterbacks. And then you have Amon-Ra St. Brown, George Pickens, Ladd McConkey, Marvin Harrison, and so on. This is one of those teams you look at and you go, okay, this is a couple of running backs away from being a really competitive team. However, he doesn't have his first this year, second this year, third this year, doesn't have his first in 2027. Not a great situation as far as how are you going to get said running back? Like it's the running back. If you added 2 good running backs to this team, I'd be like, great, competitive team, go win. But it's like now you're kind of relying on a Menengai or a Mason to break out based on your assets.
Yeah, which isn't ideal. Realistically, when I was going through it, so I actually started the starting lineup here. And obviously, when you equate it, you got Patrick Mahomes, you got Jared Goff, you got Jahmyr Gibbs. Jordan Mason is currently the expected RB2. And even if you are higher on Kyle Monangai, or backup now Alvin Kamara or Woody Marks, it's like, the fact that that's what you're relying upon as your RB2 without also having your picks in the 2026 class and 2027. Again, unfortunately, we can't see what you have in 2028. I'm assuming you would have all your picks because you haven't had your 2026 rookie draft yet. But realistically, you're lacking kind of ammo. And especially when we look at the valuation bars for other teams in your league, we look at the team at 7. They are listed as a purgatory team, and your valuation bar isn't too much ahead of them.
Yeah, I think the 2 moves that stand out to me are number 1, I believe that George Pickens is in somewhat of an increased value window to the point that maybe you could tier down George Pickens into another similarly valued production receiver and a running back on top of him. Like if somebody offered you Nico Collins and David Montgomery for George Pickens, that would maybe make some sense because then you get a running back out of it and you also get a wide receiver out of it. So for me, if I had to pick like what's decision point number 1, it would probably be trying to tier down from George Pickens just because of all the players on your team. He's the one that to me is in the highest peak value standpoint because of what he did last season. So that would be maybe like job number 1 for me. And like finding a team that has like this guy right here has Nico Collins and Travis Etienne. How much would he be willing to trade you Nico Collins and Travis Etienne for George Pickens? Or maybe you can throw in a small piece on top of that so that way you get a running back out of it. And you also get a similarly production caliber wide receiver. Like Nico Collins and George Pickens are going basically exactly back to back in terms of redraft right now.
Yeah, and I was actually just putting that in onto your DD 2.0. But I agree. If you can get Nico Collins, it might be tough to get ETN. Maybe you have to
throw in something else as well to get ETN potentially.
Yeah, like maybe
like it's 27 second. Would you do that?
Or even like Pickens plus Menengai for him.
Yeah, maybe something of that ilk. The other like move that sticks out to me is because a part of what I'm basing this on is that he doesn't have his 27-1 either. So he kind of does have to compete a little bit with a team like this.
That's where I'm at too.
Unless you're willing to go and get your own 27 first back, which is obviously very reasonable if you can. Marvin is risky. I believe in Marvin, but if you don't, you could always pivot him into a straight production receiver, a Devontae Adams or something like that, plus a running back.
Yeah. Here, and I'll actually write that down as well. So pivot from Marvin Harrison Jr.
Yeah, like I like Marvin, don't get me wrong, but like, could you pivot Marvin straight into AJ Brown? Marvin plus a 2, does that get you AJ Brown and Jalen Warren or something like that? Like, I don't know. Maybe it's a matter of consolidating some of your value into production just because your team is in a position right now where it's like, I don't know if this team can compete as it currently stands. This guy right here, could you pivot Marvin Harrison into Saquon Barkley as a competitive running back? You know what I mean? Like you have Barkley and Marvin are basically back-to-back, give or take, in my overall rankings. If you just swapped the asset that is Marvin, I wouldn't argue that you're losing a ton in your wide receiver position from a median range of outcomes. Obviously, if he hits his ceiling, it's going to suck ass. But Evans, McConkey, Pickens, like you'd still have a great receiver core, and you'd have Barkley as your RB2.
Yeah, I think that's a very good point. You can also look towards guys like, we mentioned maybe you want to go full in on point equity. You say, hey, listen, I don't have my 27-1. Maybe that causes me to go after a McCaffrey. I'm curious who has McCaffrey in this league.
Yeah, I mean, this guy has Barkley, Kyron, Montgomery. Like he might be thinking he's competitive. His team
sucks.
Yeah, he shouldn't think he's competitive, but maybe early in the season he'll realize he's not, kind of thing.
Yeah.
That's sometimes the challenging thing with Dynasty is that you'll go to a manager with a completely rational opinion on their team, and they have a completely irrational opinion on their team.
Yeah. This guy,
nah.
Would you do Bucky Irving for Marvin Harrison? I would. I think that's reasonable.
Yeah, I think that's reasonable. Maybe you could do Marvin, like I said, Marvin plus a 2 and a 3 or something for AJ Brown and Josh Jacobs. If this guy thinks he can't compete, I would say this guy probably does think he can compete, so it might be challenging to do a deal like that. Yeah. But if this guy goes, hey, I'm probably not good enough to win, then maybe.
What about SEAL Team Knicks?
SEAL Team Knicks had the
same guy, right?
Package that I talked about already. You could also go up the board a little bit. Generally, I like trading with teams who are lower in the analyzer because I feel like they're going to be more motivated and desperate to make a move. This guy's Terry and Henry potentially.
Well, I was going to say maybe you try that, although this guy probably thinks he's competing. 110 this year, coming off a 10-4 season, might be a little difficult.
Yeah,
there.
It might be challenging.
What about this guy? He's
7-7.
Breece Hall.
Yeah, Breece straight for Marvin.
Yeah,
you could throw that out there. Is his shoulder still not really right? What are you talking about?
Whose shoulder?
I don't know. Unless he's talking about me.
I'm not sure. He's talking about Bucky.
Bucky, yes, his Bucky. I get comments on my shoulder, so sometimes that's what confused me there. So Bucky Irving, his shoulder is apparently not right at the moment. It sounds like it's going to be right for camp. They said it was probably going to be good to go. I'm pessimistic on Bucky in general, but it's only one of the things I'm pessimistic about. You know what I mean? It's not like the only reason I'm pessimistic on Bucky Irving. It's just adding to the pessimism. So,
I think that's reasonable.
But I think generally when we look across your team, it's like the two moves that stick out to me, like I said, are down tiering a wide receiver or trading off a wide receiver into a running back. Because unfortunately, you are kind of stuck in a point where you probably do have to compete this season at least. Like mid-season, maybe you reevaluate. You're like, oh my God, my team is just a complete and utter train wreck. Maybe you try and get your first back at that point, sell off an Amon-Ra for that first or something to try and get that pick back and secure, a Jeremiah Smith or something if things really go wrong for you. But generally speaking, I do think you're going to be able to compete this year if you just make one move or two moves to upgrade your running back core. And again, I wouldn't be too worried about value here because you do need a significant contributor. You need somebody who's going to put up 16, 17, 18, 19 points per game. And that's why I said like Barkley and Jacobs and Henry and those guys would make some sense. But I do think Pickens tier down would also make some sense to stay flexible as well. Okay. Next up, BPzen. If you're listening to this, I'm going to send you this privately because you're using a platform of fantasy I've never heard of. RTS, never heard of that. But we unfortunately cannot pull up your team on the analyzer, so we will send that to you separately. Brandon, we talked about it early in the stream if you want to scroll back. Dave, Castor Troy here. Only my second year in Dynasty. I'm an expansion 1 quarterback league with 2 juggernauts. I'm asking what I can do to improve. And it's funny, this guy proposed this like a Dragon's Den thing. He's like, I'm here asking for 10% or for 500,000 for 10% of my company. Or Shark Tank, you Americans out there. What would make me a stronger rebuilder? And he said, like, what does that mean? So I think he's having some confusion a little bit with some of the labels as well. Should I sit on these rookies and hope they can pop in 2027, 2028? Thanks. All right. So Diaper Gravy is an insane name, first of all. Penis McGee.
Yo!
Boner Pills. This is a whole...
Diaper Gravy is insane.
Diaper Gravy is nuts, bro. Holy shit. Diaper Gravy. Hey,
That's so vile.
He said his name is Castor Troy.
Diaper Gravy might be the most disgusting phrase I could possibly imagine.
So live, okay. His team name is Castor Troy. I don't see his team.
Boner Pill.
Do you see Castor Troy or a team that would be Castor Troy?
Anything that's Dave, like chasing my... Okay, so he...
Lineup. Oh, okay. If I pull up his lineup, we can see his team here. All right. Jackson Dart is on his team. So let's just find the team with Jackson Dart on it.
Or like the 7th rated quarterback or?
Yeah. I can just search Jackson's name. Okay, so he's Boner Pills. Shout out to
Boner Pills. Boner Pills. Let's go, baby.
Shout out to Boner Pills. Okay, so he's saying, should I just hope that these rookies pop, which makes sense now because you look at Lemon and Sadiq and Jonah Coleman and those types of guys. I mean, yeah, you took over an orphan with a team, with a league that has a lot of great players and a lot of teams in it.
You know what I'm doing?
What's up?
Dart, Mayfield, Kincaid off my team.
Yeah, this is a down to the studs situation. Yep. You want to take some development about like, oh, okay, like Bashal Tootin mid-season, he's popping off. I'm selling anybody who produces shit on this team. Jonah Coleman starts the year, and week 8 he gets the starting job for Denver. I'd probably sell him as well. Like, I'm selling everything and anything off of this team and collecting only picks because realistically, your team's in purgatory right now. But what you can't do as a person who takes over an orphan, the biggest mistake you can make is the mistake that the person who orphaned the team made, which is thinking that they're going to compete if they just hit on their picks, or thinking they can compete if they just, if I just get lucky and I hit on the next Bucky Irving or whatever, I'm gonna become a contending team here.
Yeah, ultimately, also Geno Smith, you can sell. Maybe you wait till in season because he's, named the starter and you sell him for a 2, then like go ahead. All jokes aside, though, like you're going to need to keep banking liquidity if you want to catch up to Diaper Gravy.
Yeah, if you want that Diaper Gravy in your system, you're going to have to... we got a not only do we have a Juggernaut, we have a Thanos.
That's not ideal.
If you guys are unaware of our new terms for our site, we will have a legend up there very soon of explaining exactly how you get to be them. But I know that the definition of a Thanos is you need to basically be top 3 in everything. So quarterback, running back, wide receiver, tight end, and picks. And you also have to have like, I think 1.25, 1.5x the total value of the second place team. So you are like, look at this, dude. Look at this guy's team. Tedero McMillan is his wide receiver 7. This might be the best team I've ever seen.
Bro, how does he have extra future picks? What is going on here? He's got your whoever orphaned the team. He gave this guy your first.
Bro, I'm getting Diaper Gravy looking at this.
Bro, it's crazy. He puts Diaper Gravy into his opponents. That's how fucking talented he is.
Literally, yeah. This league is going to implode. I would leave this shit ASAP. Like, this is bad.
Oh my God.
This is the craziest team I've seen in a while. This
Chasing
guy has
my what? Chasing my J?
Oh my God, man. This guy has 6 of my top 9 dynasty receivers on his team.
The only thing that would make this better is if he had CeeDee Lamb.
Yes, that would make it better for you. But that, yeah. I mean, here's the thing, Boner Pills. First of all, this league's fucking torched. Second of all, if you stay in this league, your only course of action is to own the 2028 and 2029 class because
that might be optimistic.
Nowhere close to competing. Nowhere close.
That guy's window's probably till 2032, 33, and that's even without acknowledging that he could rip a couple another. I almost said something more derogatory. Dumbasses off.
Yeah.
Dude,
some sand eaters.
Half the league's in purgatory.
This
Like,
yeah,
he's cooked.
this is like capitalism gone wrong. Like this is a fucking crazy billionaire like
A
this is
Russian
like
might die if they saw this league.
this is like the like middle class neighborhood I grew up in, and Elon Musk like moved in down the
Yeah.
street. Like,
Bro, it's just unfair. It's like when you're in high school and one guy's going back and he's got an indoor tennis court and indoor basketball court, and you're just like, oh fucking A, no matter what you want to do, you can do. Like
yeah.
that's what this guy, no matter what that guy wants to do, he can do. He's got the resources, he's got the assets.
Yeah, I told you this story already, but I went to high school with a guy who's a pro soccer player in Europe now, and the reason he's a pro soccer player, he's obviously a great player, but his parents were extremely wealthy, and they sent him to camps every single summer. He would go to Europe and train with these like not BPL teams, but like the like AHL version or the G League version of those types of teams. And yeah, now he's a pro soccer player because he had the opportunity to be able to do something like that. That's what this guy's dealing with. That's what this Thanos team is dealing with. He drives an Aston. He picks up his son from school in an Aston Martin. But yeah, this is an insane thing. You basically got to sell everything and everybody off of this team. You are nowhere close to competing with this team. Nowhere close.
I'm not even joking you. You might need like 3 years of aggressive rebuilding just to get enough assets to compete with this guy. But like, hopefully you got some years up front. You take over an orphan most of the time. Like people will help you. Yeah, like it is very upsetting.
Upsets me. I don't know why that made me laugh so hard.
This is upsetting.
This ruins a free market economy. This guy's getting going Pierre Polyev in the chat right now. That's crazy, man. That's crazy. Anyways, yeah, your only hope is okay. Let's see what happens this year. Anybody young, Lemon, Kenyon Sadiq, guys that can really accumulate a ton of value, you don't need to sell them. You can, because you could cash out for a bunch of future picks and hit all over again on players like that. But you basically need to, like, you hit on something, you need to turn them into 2 to 3 more things that you can hit on. Like that's basically, you have to play the hit rates of, I need to hit on 60 to 70% of all the picks I make.
You need to become the next pyramid scheme in this league. Whatever that guy did to pyramid scheme all those picks and all those assets, you need to be the next one.
Exactly. Yeah. Anybody who's going to collect a bunch of assets going forward is whoever collects the most is going to be the only team up there standing with him, because otherwise he is going to take over this league and everyone should leave it. But yeah, Dave, that was a regular DD. So thankfully we don't have to give him a DD 2.0 to tell him to sell everything that he has, because it's a pretty straightforward opinion that he has here. And then, basically he said, what would help me be a strong rebuilder? Essentially just selling off more players and collecting more picks. Like
everything.
For your sake, hopefully you're able to collect 2028 and 2029 picks, but I wouldn't be shocked if nobody wants to trade those picks, because nobody wants to be in this league long enough to see them.
There's a juggernaut in this league, and then there's a team with double the juggernaut's value.
Nuts.
Nuts. Oh man.
Anyways,
Taco.
Spalding Colt, Spalding Colt, this will be a DD 2.0. So Spalding Colt, if you're listening to this, we will be firing you this over the next couple of days. Also, the league juggernaut being named Taco is absolutely electric to me. That this guy clearly started in the mud and built up an absolute heater based on picks and that kind of thing, I would imagine. Anyways, any help would be greatly appreciated. I don't have much value pick-wise, or I don't have much pick-wise for the next 2 years. Not sure if I should sit and see if any of my players rise value-wise and then trade for future assets in order to compete. So his team is, where is he? He's number 9. So you're in purgatory, which is not where you want to be. Purgatory, for those of you guys that are wondering, what does that mean? Basically means you're like a fraudulent contender. Like your team isn't good enough to win yet. You're not high enough in the contending rankings. When we sort by underdog ADP, you're number 8. So you're outside the top 6 playoff teams. And then by dynasty and rebuilding, you're not really elite there either.
Where did we send our picks? That's what I'm worried about.
Yeah. I mean, you don't have your 28s either.
That's what I mean, dude.
That's not good.
You gotta go to the teams that have those picks and get them by any means necessary. I'm telling you, if you are not positioning this team after getting back your picks, hopefully you can get back your picks. If I had your picks, I wouldn't give you a good deal. I'd give you like the absolute premium. Like, oh, you're trading for this because you want it to be the 101, the 102, or the 103. You're coming off a 7-21 record. You don't have your picks for the next 2 years. This is a dire situation, man. You have to get back on track and you have to go get them. There's no other possibility you can take this team other than going and get your picks back. Because quite frankly, sort by contending, Corey, it's probably
He's
the
number
6th best team. Number 8. Let's not,
Yeah, I think your best course of action first and foremost is to get rid of ETN, because ETN is, of all the assets on your team, the one that is most likely to lose value the quickest. So
yes,
I'd be fine selling off ETN, and then after you sell off ETN, being like,
I'm trading for my picks first.
Yes, yeah, but like
that.
maybe go to the guy with your picks and see if he wants ETN, for example. So let's see if we can find his picks here.
Let's go find his picks.
Let's find this guy's number 1 in picks. He's probably got some picks here. Yeah, so he's got his first in 27 and in 2028. So this guy,
we're getting those back.
Yeah, like
I don't know what you
him
dealt them for, but we're getting them back.
Yeah, so offering him ETN,
I'd give neighbors for those 2 picks straight up, knowing that I'm inherently controlling the where they go.
Yeah, that's fair. That's totally fair. I think offering, like I said, start off with, hey, are you interested in ETN? Are you interested in whoever else? Like maybe you could sell him Jordan Love and ETN for those 2 picks or something like that.
All I know, if I was that guy and I was having your picks, I would literally say that your 2027 first about makes up neighbors in my mind, because I know exactly why you're trying to go get those picks. Like I would be charging you a crazy premium on them. A crazy premium.
Yeah.
I'm also kind of an asshole, so
I would be as well. I don't disagree. The one thing I like about your team, if we can be positive here for a second, is if you sold Jordan Love and Travis Etienne for, like, I mean, Jordan Love's not old, but like they stick out to me as like more contending-ish type of assets. You sold Jordan Love, you sold Travis Etienne, maybe Alec Pierce or something as well. The rest of your team's young. You could, really, if you get your picks back using some of those players, which might be hard because, if, like Danny said, if I had your picks, I probably wouldn't sell you them for those types of players. But if, let's say, Jordan Love, Etienne, and Alec Pierce, you sell all 3 of those guys to get to your picks back, then your team's actually in good shape, because the rest of your team's young. You can see and wait and what happens and stuff. But if you do have to get crazy here and give up like an asset you don't want to give up, like a Judkins or a Tate or a Neighbors or something like that to get those picks back, that is your best course of action, unfortunately, because I don't know what you traded those picks away for. Like, it's very possible you got ETN and Pierce and Love for those picks, but I'm trying to get them back by any means necessary.
Yeah. Unfortunately, like, you have to chalk up your L's. You can't look at sunk cost fallacy, because that is how you become an unproductive rebuild. You don't want to be in purgatory.
No, you do not want to, because purgatory is very hard to get out of. Because you're not going to have the assets to get out of it. That's the problem. You basically have to hit a home run on a 3rd round rookie pick or something.
Yeah, in which it's just unsustainable for that to be the case, because realistically, you have 2/3 and 2/4 in the next 2 years, and a team that's not close to taking it down. So like we have to go to exotic measures. We have to say, whatever Jordan Love can get us, whatever, Judkins, Price, ETN. If you have to give up neighbors, like I said, to get your own 2 picks back, you do it. You don't have the option of saying, well, actually, no, neighbors isn't on the table for my 2 picks. The only way to get your team out of this situation is by making sure you have control of those picks, and those picks are in the top 3 of the next 2 draft classes. That's the only way you're going to be able to catch up to some of the top teams in this league. You have to make sure you're weaponizing the value of a tank.
The worst quality any dynasty manager can have is impatience, honestly.
Correct.
It's one of the worst qualities you can have, because the term all in comes up all the time. Like, we see it on, from analysts I respect, honestly, like that I think do a good job from a redraft perspective. I think the going all in aspect of the dynasty landscape is not always the smartest. And I think that's maybe what you thought here. You're like, hey, if I sell my picks, I can go and get a couple more players and compete. And also, too, there's a right and a wrong way to do that. Like, if you were going to sell your 27 and 28 one, and let's say, I don't know what you got it, what you traded it for, but let's say it was like ETN and like some spare parts types of assets, I would have at least traded it for, Rashee Rice or somebody who's going to be a significant contributor, so that I could at least be like, okay, I sold my picks. Maybe I went all in a little prematurely, but at least I'm getting somebody that's going to be a wagon producer.
And I'm telling you right now, the deals that I've regretted the most in Dynasty are when I'm making deals with the thought process of, well, these picks are going to be late. I may as well cash in some liquidity on production, because guess what? If you don't get the production you expected, or that pick ends up earlier than you expected, there are multiple ways for you to feel like you're regretting it. And I'm sure in the time when you traded those picks, you're like, this is going to be the 107 to 112. Who trades their picks without thinking they're going to be mid to late? Nobody's going to trade their pick.
No one's ever traded their own picks away and been like, those are early, if they think they're contending.
Yeah. So again, unfortunately, like, this is the position that we're in right now. We're going to have to do any measures to be able to get control of those 2 picks back. Because realistically, if you want our honest truth, how do you become a top team in this league? You have to go through the mud. You have to make sure that you get a top 3 pick the next few years. Because otherwise, without adding, top 10 level valuation in startup Jeremiah Smith or top 20 in valuation startup Arch Manning, like how else are you going to make up the value difference compared to the top guys?
No, yeah, like Brock says too, like if you're a purgatory team, sometimes the only thing you can do is like find cheap, ambiguous backfield guys too. Like you hit on a Chuba Hubbard type of producer, you hit on a Javonte Williams from last year, you hit on somebody like that. That's hard to do, man. That's like we trust our ability. We think, live, breathe fantasy football 365 days a year. You'd think of all people, we could hit on all of our 3rd round rookie picks, hit on all of those ambiguous backfields, and we're going to get 45% of that shit wrong too. So that's the hard part with having a purgatory team, is that you understand and recognize that it's very difficult to rebuild a team when you don't have assets. We trust our ability to hit on 1st round picks. We trust our ability to hit on 2nd round picks. 3rd and 4th round picks, we're throwing darts like most other people. Maybe we'll hit on 2 3rd round picks for every one that the other person hits on, but it's still not an exact science by any means. You're still going to miss on 70-80% of your 3rd round picks.
For sure. And Carter, no, they've been a ton of fun to make too. I also feel like you guys just get a lot more value out of them.
Yeah. And Carter, that is, by the way, the revamped buy, sell, hold report is the Dynasty Decisions 2.0, in case that wasn't clear. That is what we revamped it to. It's what we have here. So if you're waiting to use your voucher or whatever, you should now be able to use it on on that as well. So let's keep it rolling. Spalding Colt, again, we'll
make
send
sure you get yours
Dynasty
as well.
Decision 2.0 as soon as we're done here over the next couple days. RadiantInstruction purchased one outright, so we appreciate that.
Appreciate it.
Dynasty Decisions 2.0. Started a complete rebuild 3 years in, had a championship and a playoff run, but couldn't get the win. Those always suck. I hate when that happens, when you're like so close and you're like, now I gotta fucking rebuild and I didn't actually win anything. Traded away my old pieces for draft capital, tried to get more 2027 draft capital, but the whole league is high on the 2027 class. All in, I think I drafted well in the 2026 class. So first of all, league dynamic here, you see a Thanos, which is never a good sign. But you're down all the way here, starting from scratch, bottom of the barrel, collecting picks. This year, going to be hard to do a lot of damage because you just have the 107, which looks like you got MiXael Lemon with, though, for what it's worth.
Wow.
204. No, hold on. These picks must be wrong. I don't know if they're right or not, because there's no way you got all these players with the picks that you have.
I maybe though. Look, hey, 107 MiXael Lemon, 204 Jonah Coleman, Singleton 37.
Omar Cooper Jr. and Casey Concepcion and
Hurtz
and Chris Dell. They must be wrong.
Yeah,
so either way, maybe those picks are no longer on your team or something. But I look at the 27 picks and I go, okay, you have your own first, which is important when you're a tanking team. You have Alex Best, which is a purgatory team. That could end up being an early to mid one.
And
you have Lou Sassel, which looks like a contending team. So that's probably a late pick. And then you have Alex Best 2 as well, which is good. He's a purgatory team. And then Lou Sassel's 2 and Boston, whatever his name is. So
minimum 3 players are off your team, Corey. Can you name them?
Dak, Bayfield, and probably Laporta, I would imagine, is the other one.
Correct.
I'm cool waiting for like a value bounce back out of Laporta, maybe early on in the season, then selling them. But yeah, I think
probably
those
same with
guys.
Prescott and Mayfield too, because like you want them to produce, and then people are like more willing. Like if either of them are off to like, I don't know, Dak's at a 20 point per game start, Baker's at an 18.5 point per game start, you can sell them like at that point for contention type of value. Because that's the other thing too, Corey. We say it every time. There's about a 50% valuation fluctuation between what you see, sometime in June, sometimes in July, versus when push comes to shove, people are actually competing. They see the point equity that's being provided that Dak and Mayfield would produce. They see 35 to 40 combined points per game. They're a lot more willing to part with a mid-projected one.
Oh yeah, especially when Dak just threw 3 touchdowns and 400 yards in week 3 or whatever. Like it's crazy how much recency bias does factor into a contending asset. Like you should have known he was going to produce. You shouldn't really react too much to big games or whatever, but people still do. Also, got a question in the chat from Jim Bobs, who is new to the channel, so I'll quickly show him. He said, "Is there a way to link my league from Sleeper?" So what you do is you go to the My Teams page on the portfolio tool, and you hit manage, and then you add your username, Sleeper League ID. In the URL in the top of your desktop, there will be a league ID. It's just a bunch of numbers, like a 12-digit number or something, and you just paste that in, and it should load your league. And we support ESPN, Yahoo, MFL, and FFPC in addition to sleeper. So that should be how you're able to do that. And you can see I have 19 linked total leagues, 16 Dynasty, 3 redrafts. So that it should be pretty straightforward. And that's how you submit reviews as well. As once you have the team linked, you go to the where our faces are blocking it, but it says personal advice behind Danny's face, and that's how you would link the team.
Also, when we say Laporta is a buy, we're not saying because we dislike Laporta. We're saying given the context of his team A and B, if you think he's going to gain value, then I'm not saying you have to start him before week.
Well, that's exactly why I said maybe hold him until he starts to recoup his values, because I do believe he's a buy. I talked about him being one.
I actually, frankly, agree. Like I have him, I believe, tight end 7 or tight end 8 in Dynasty. I have him in the same tier as Harold Fannin, just simply off the fact that I'm a little bit more pessimistic with the target competition out in Cleveland. And I also think Sam Laporta, when he was healthy last year, was still giving you an 11.5 point per game total. It's just given the context of your team here, you are a younger build. Kenyon Sadiq's going to fit you more long term. Kenyon Sadiq, I would say, has a higher implied upside if he reaches his potential versus Sam Laporta. But it doesn't mean you have to sell Sam Laporta, like I said, before week 1 starts. Like you can wait till week 6, week 7.
Agreed. Yeah. And this is actually a very good question from an angry fetus. And I do have a team that looks like this in Flock Me Silly. So the question is, do either of you have recent rebuilds to show an example of you're stuck in purgatory, but it should look like this? Like if you're trying to rebuild that team. Now, this team isn't in purgatory now, but it was a couple of weeks ago. Before the rookie draft, my team was listed as a purgatory team. So this team is a rebuilding team. As you can see, I have a couple of good receivers, Jamar, Lemon, Devontae. I won't spend too long on this. Jordan Addison, Worthy, etc. I just built out my wide receiver core mainly in the rookie draft with Lane and Bell and those guys later on, but Lemon being the big addition. Tyler Warren's my main tight end. And then Lawrence, Murray, Daniel Jones, those are going to be my quarterbacks. I'll probably look to sell off Daniel Jones at some point. But look at my running back core. This is what it should look like. You shouldn't have any real valuable running backs on a team that's looking to rebuild. And in an ideal world, I'd have more picks than I do. However, this is an FSC league and people clench them like they're pearls. So in an ideal world, I'd have 2 or 3 extra first round picks, but this is essentially the framework of what you should be looking to do. And then in season, I'd be maybe looking to sell off a Devontae Smith. I'd be looking to sell off on somebody who's a productive asset, like a Dallas Goedert or a Kyler Murray or a Daniel Jones.
Well, if you click into the League 2 core, I think mine's an example of like what it should look like right after you go through your productive struggle if all your cards played right. So click into that league real quickly.
This league?
Yes. Because like my team, like last year, I tanked into the 101. This offseason, because I had accumulated all that capital, I consolidated to more of a team that realistically can compete as soon as this year and also has capital to be able to maneuver.
And the Thanos.
Yeah. Well, like if you play your cards right, this is why you go through a productive struggle. This is why
I'm 2 years away from what your team looks like right now.
Correct. Yeah. Correct. Like this is ultimately what your goal should be and why you go through the production struggles.
Yeah, and you went rebuild out of the startup, which is why rebuild out of the startup often is very effective, is because you can have a team like this, what is year 3 of this league, if I'm not mistaken.
Yes.
And I went competitive out of the startup. So I'm in the process of selling off players because I was, a playoff team, wasn't able to get it done, which is the situation that, was it Radiant said he was in? Radiant in this review said he was in as well. So this is very related. As he said, I was trying to compete, I was trying to win, wasn't able to, and now I'm in this position. So I think you're well on your way to having a really good framework for what you're doing. But like we said, Prescott, Mayfield, Laporta, those guys don't really fit your build. So maybe wait on Laporta until he bounces back a little bit. But Dak Prescott and Mayfield, you got to sell those guys as soon as you can, because you don't want them suffering an injury. You don't want them suffering any kind of bad production or down play or whatever. Prescott has a lot of value. People understand how productive he is. So you should have no problem selling him before the season.
Even face value perspective, I actually think Dak's a buy. But given the context of your team, getting rid of Mayfield and Prescott's production is far more valuable to you than trying to get 110% of the value that they're worth. If you're chasing out the perfect deal, it's just not going to come. Ultimately,
Fernando right here. This is a competitive team with Fernando Mendoza, who could very easily replace him with Dak Prescott. This is exactly the type of team I would go after. And if you even have to give him a 2, like one of your late projected 2s in 2027 on top of Dak Prescott to get Fernando Mendoza, who fits your build so much better, that would make a lot of sense.
Yeah, no, I'm in on that as well. But overall, you are listed as a pipsqueak right now. You want to do everything in your possibility to rid yourself of veteran production, get as much youth capital as you can. You already got a good start there with the 2027 class. Just keep building on that. Yeah,
better yet, too. There's no law against starting Drew Aller and Michael Penix all year as your quarterbacks, by the way.
Especially if you get rid of Mayfield
and Mayfield for straight picks. quarterback back. You don't have to get a quarterback back. I mentioned Mendoza as a possible option, but you can just get picks for them.
Corey, you want to get even grittier? Say Coleman and Singleton flash early in the season. Yes, they're young. They fit your window. But if you can get a nice deal for them, especially in late liquidity, and you're starting Jordan James and Jarquez Hunter and Phil Maffa and Zach Moss, who, by the way, I'm pretty sure is medically retired right now, you're laughing.
Yeah, Pipsqueak is worse than Purgatory in value, but I would argue it's more productive than Purgatory, at least in terms of what you're trying to accomplish.
In terms of aligned goals.
Yeah, like this team is an aligned goal trying to tank for the top pick, but it is worse in value than a Purgatory team. Could a Purgatory team win a championship if you get lucky? Sure, but it's very unlikely.
Very unlikely. Like, again, and this is where we differ, I would say, to the general, media or creators that some people might watch, is that a lot of creators I know have pushed like, oh, if you're a middle type of the pack team, you want to push for the 5 seed, you want to push for the 6 seed, because ultimately anything can happen if you get into the dance. Like, yeah, sure, theoretically it makes sense from a win percentage allocation perspective, but I would argue the downside of not winning is far more like gonna hurt you than prematurely taking it out or tearing it down.
Which is maybe what happened to him before he turned his team into this as well. He might have been a number 5, number 6 type of seed. And here's the other thing too. Out of a startup, it's a lot easier to say anything can happen than 4 years into a league. When
you see a Thanos in your league, immediately you shouldn't be thinking of on the optimistic end of the percentage.
If there's a Thanos in this league, in a league that I'm in, I want to be the second best team in the league, or otherwise I'm still rebuilding. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
Like, yes, anything could happen to that Thanos. Not every, Duke's not going to win the national championship in college basketball every year. But generally speaking, it's pretty hard to beat a team like that.
Purgatory is like balanced, but lower in the contention window.
Yeah, balanced means you're inside the top 6 of the contending rankings here. But Purgatory is you're outside of the top 6 in the contending rankings. For a balanced team, I believe you need to be inside the top 9 in rebuilding and inside the top 6 in contending. So you're a middle of the pack, top 3 to 5 team in your league, give or take. Purgatory is you are outside of the top 6 in both rebuilding and contending, meaning you're not a rebuilder, but you're also not a good contender either.
Yeah, for sure. But overall, you're on the right path. Just sell your production where you can. You already have your 27 first, which is a great start, because, I mean, God forbid you didn't have your 27 first. We would be having completely more dire discussions right now. You have your first. Get yourself a guy like Jeremiah Smith. Get yourself a guy like Arch Manning. And then I would honestly say you play your cards right. 2028 may be a little early. You might need another year, I would say, of young draft class, potential. But by 2029, I think this is a team that could easily be in the contention, especially knowing that if we check the Thanos, maybe a couple of those players are more so in their, I don't want to say twilight windows, but you just had 3 years on top of everybody. Like,
I mean, it's mainly young players that he has here. So this is a deep, like, if I'm this guy, I'm consolidating as quickly as I can, because he has a deep ass roster here.
4 top 10 tight ends. Like, for what?
Yeah, I'm going to get Bowers if I'm him. The other thing, RadiantInstruction, I'm assuming this is him in the chat here. He says, we have 2026 drafts, is what he said. So maybe it's a Devi league, or maybe it's, you just have a supplemental draft for free agents or something like that. I'm not exactly sure.
Brendan Sorsby, something like that.
Or the 107, like whoever's available on the market on the waiver wire. I don't know. Either way, those picks are probably not as valuable then, if that's the case, as what they would be. Anyways, we can keep it going here. AStacy here. This one is a purchase team review, so not a 2.0. Yep. Hey guys, I usually send my stuff over to Mason, but I wanted second opinions. Appreciate that. I know Mason's got his reviews turned off a lot of the time too, so we always appreciate the
we'll take
spillover. We'll take the spillover business from him.
Hey, shut up, Mason.
Yeah, been rebuilding this for 3 years now, and I'm not sure if I'm close to competing. I had the 104 this year, but I traded up to 101 as I thought Love would be a massive asset for me, and appreciate any
strong
and all
contender.
Advice. Yeah, strong contender. I mean, Love, definitely going to be a huge asset for you. This is what do we call this, Danny? This is a prototypical house money type of team for me.
Yeah, totally agree. And honestly, is it a 1 quarterback or a super flex?
It's a super flex. So the main weakness here would be, like, in an ideal world, Sam Darnold's my QB3, not my QB2.
Like, do you try to see if 208 plus maybe a depth receiver? Unfortunately,
you could just take Drew Aller when he turns into a franchise quarterback.
Yeah, or more likely, maybe you could leverage the 208 and see if you can get up to like a Malik Willis. I think on this team, you add Malik
Yeah.
Willis, you have Caleb, you have Sam Darnold. Like Sam Darnold's more of your quarterback 2-3 with the long-term projection because he wins a Super Bowl. And then Malik Willis is more like, yeah, his long-term isn't as good, but if he gives me 20 fantasy points per game, you're not really complaining.
This is also not a terrible Jake Brisket team as well. Like if you just wanted to throw your 401 at somebody for Jake Brisket.
Yeah, I mean, projections darling, eh?
He's a projections darling, man. I'm doing the Cardinals projections right now, and I'm like, is Jake Brisket undervalued? Because he's going to throw a lot.
Yeah.
But yeah, what are your thoughts on potentially taking one of your pillar assets here and getting a QB2 with it? Like, would you be willing? Would you go the route? Let me ask you this: of getting a good QB2 or getting a cheap QB3? You kind of just mentioned the cheap QB3 route of Malik Willis. Would you rather in a start 9? So that means these two, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 plus Jeremiah Love is 7, Colston Loveland 8. Like you're going to be flexing somebody relatively not that great every week, especially if you do make a deal like this.
That's what makes me a little hesitant.
Like you're not selling Ladd McConkey for, Cam Ward or something like that.
Yeah, I think I would be more likely to go the route of like a cheap, like I think Malik Willis is just perfect for this team. Like that's why I said his name.
Yeah, because there's also the upside that you really accumulate a ton of value out of Malik Willis and he becomes a long-term starter for you. Or even like, I don't hate the idea of going after a cheap like Daniel Jones or a cheap like somebody like that if it's not that expensive. Yeah,
no, I think Daniel Jones kind of in the same price range.
I mean Stafford too. You could take you could be the team that goes after Stafford. This team's pretty young still, so I don't know if I want to inject like a 37-year-old quarterback onto it.
Yeah. Also,
let me find a team. Is there a team in this league that has like a crap ton of quarterbacks depth wise?
Poeton, shout out Alex Pereira. Your league mates might be on illegal substances if they think Tucker Kraft in the 8th is a bad pick.
Yeah, they are on illegal substances. Also, the last time I will mention this, but this is the last day for first week sales for Maria's book. So if you guys are interested in getting that, this will be the last time I ask for it. Go check it out. A Little Feral, Amazon, bookshop.org, everywhere you can find it is the name of it. Feral, Feral. Really appreciate that. This guy, Dak Prescott, Brock Purdy, maybe he'd be interested in selling a quarterback. There's not a ton of guys in this league that have there's no team with 5 QBs on it though. So that's the challenging part. It's like usually there's a team that has
a hoarder,
a hoarder. Yeah, exactly.
Well, who's the number 2, number 3 quarterback cores?
The number 2 and number 3 quarterback cores were mainly just carried by, Josh Allen in this case, or
so nobody's got good
Justin Herbert, Lawrence. Yeah, there's not is this a 14 team? No, I was gonna say it looks like a 14 team with the way that
yeah, that's interesting.
Yeah. So again, that's the challenging thing with this league is that you're not just going to be like, oh, there's a very obvious team that has like Aaron Rodgers as his QB5.
Well, let's look at the picks too, because I am curious if any of the teams with stacked quarterback cores have like the 103 or the 104.
Yeah, that's a good point.
Is that maybe they're adding a Mendoza type? Like that guy's got 112. He won the league. That guy doesn't have picks.
This guy has picks. 104. Yeah, I mean, maybe this guy. Maybe
that guy could. Kyler Murray would fit the Malik Willis archetype there too.
Yeah, Kyler would make sense. You could even when he's on the clock, if Mendoza's the best player on the board, he probably will just take Tyson, I would guess, in most cases. Or Lemon, depending on.
But ask him, say, hey, listen, if you're willing to get rid of Murray, I noticed Mendoza made it to you.
Yeah, I mean, it's possible Mendoza goes 103 here because this guy is the 103 holder and he has Drake May and Geno Smith and those guys. So that
Geno Smith would be a decent pickup too.
Yeah, it might be a point ultimately with this team, but
with this team, would you send the 208 for Geno?
No, I wouldn't. No, because I don't expect Geno to play the whole. I'd rather trade if I'm going to trade for a quarterback that's like Geno, I would trade for Jacoby Brissett. Yeah,
fair. Similar vibe there.
Yeah. But yeah, as far as the rest of the team here, he said had the 104 but traded up to 101, as I thought Love would be a massive asset. I mean, knowing the pick the way that it was going to, it looked like you weren't going to get Mendoza at 104 anyways, to be honest. So yeah, I think this team is one of those like, hey, let's see what happens during the season. If Darnold's really producing, like you don't need a quarterback 3. It's just that in this situation, you don't really have another option at the moment. But any other spare parts that can get you to a quarterback 3 would be great. Like if someone's really high on the Jonathan Brooks experience or whatever, you could always sell him for a quarterback 3. If somebody's really high on BTJ or something, you could tier him down into a receiver in a quarterback 3 or something. So that would be my main course of action as far as like what's going to be on the what would be on a DD 2.0 here, even though he didn't get one, I would say is probably tearing down on a receiver to get a quarterback or to maybe buy a cheap one. Anyways, keep it rolling. How many more reviews do we have, just to make sure I know what kind of pace we're going at here?
10?
We still have 10 more because we did receive 2 more during the stream. If any of you guys can wait on yours that submitted yours today, we would appreciate it because we're going to be here for 18 hours.
Yeah, what do we set in hard deadline as?
We will not go any longer than 2 hours 45 minutes on this stream.
Okay.
So we got another hour and 30. So hopefully we can get through everything here. MikeyUrb here. I have a middling team, so this will be a 2.0 as well. A middling team with a few firsts. He said Brock said he sent his just to flex so he can wait. We appreciate that.
He's just middling team. He's number 2 in the analyzer. So
yeah, he's number 2 in the analyzer. It's a strong rebuilder, so maybe middling is by contending, he's thinking. An extra first in 2028 he has as well, so maybe it doesn't show here. Oh, he does show here.
Accepted verbal offer of 2028 late first plus for Genty. That's what he says.
London. So he'd be giving up London a late one for Genty. Pretty. I don't know if I'd be willing to pay a 1 on top of London.
Yeah, it seems a little expensive. If
I got a 2 back, I'd maybe do that. I don't think I'm doing that trade.
Well, go to the guy that has Genty and see if we can get even a contending piece on top of that. Like, can he give you 2 running backs? Like, can you get? You're
not gonna get Christian or Jacob from him. I don't think.
Can you get fucking Warner or White at the very minimum?
Yeah, I mean, he has so many picks, man. He's got to give you a 28-2 back.
Yeah,
look at all the picks in 2028.
Look at this asshole. I'm kidding.
And what's this guy's obsession with the 2028 class? Like, if he wants London and a 1 for Genty, I want a 2 back. That's my hard dead.
Yeah, and throw me Rashad White. Just throw me David goddamn Putney just because I feel like it.
Yeah, David goddamn Putney could go there. When do y'all think you'll do DD next? Based on the amount of reviews we have, probably
early next week
in short order, and Monday or Tuesday or something.
Yeah, Scribbles. This is we're seated.
Yeah, we are seated indeed. As far as the team is concerned, you said your team's middle of the road. I mean, I think you're pretty well established at every major fantasy position. I'm fine with a Gadsden Hawkinson type of tight end core. Knowing that you have 3 1s in the bank here too, also feels really good. If I look at the ones that you have Flight, Method, and Shit Kickers. Shit Kickers is 3rd. Flight is 9th. He's in purgatory. You have his 1st, which is good.
Pookie
I mean,
Nakua.
Decent team, but
Pookie Nakua.
Yeah, that's great. And then Method with you is a strong contender. So I mean, you're gonna have a couple of mid to late 1s most likely. You don't have his own. He doesn't have his own 1st, which is worth noting. I mean, this team's in good shape. You have a young team, house money team. We'll see what happens during the season. There's not a whole lot that stands out to me as moves that I would make personally. I would venture a guess to say you're probably like on the closer side of contention for a strong rebuilder tag as you can get. Like I wouldn't be shocked if you're probably like fringe top 8, maybe. Yeah, like, this is a good team. My question here is, because he's a strong rebuilder, because he doesn't have his own 1. This is the crucial part of this. Are you willing to take the 2 mid to late 1s that you're going to have next year and go buy a hammer type asset? Like, I'm totally willing to. That's what I'm implying. Like, where does he rank on the contending rankings? I'm curious by bar. It's probably like 7. Like number 8, maybe. Yeah, number 7. And then we look at the overall valuations. Like, you make a strong move here to get your contention up. Like, realistically, let's say you get a hammer, Corey. Let's look at his bar. Go up. So you're at 52.46. You could probably even get up to number 3 if you make a big, strong consolidation move. Yeah, like, let's find a team here that's got a shit team, but a good contending player. This guy's, I mean, he's probably thinks he's competing based on the way his team is built. So it might be harder for him. 2-26. This is, I mean, Jeremiah would be obviously great to go after. I think he needs a running back specifically, though. Yeah, Jeremiah Love. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, it. Yeah, going after Jeremiah would make some sense. Let's look at that real quick. Well, that's what I mean. Like, look at how many picks that guy has. You're telling me if you floated 2 extra 27 first, no, the Jeremiah Love guy. You're telling me if you floated 2 extra 27 first in the package to a guy that already has 4, you might be able to get something done here. Would you give up all 3 for him? I think I would. So he has 2 that are projecting late, but again, it's a 10-team league. So even a late first is guaranteed, 110 or whatever.
Try to do it without all three, but like if you have to, like maybe even get something back. Like that guy's got Jeremiah Love. Can you get him to throw in like a Josh Downs or Travis Hunter or something?
Yeah, Hunter would be the one that I think would make some sense there.
Yeah.
Yeah, if we look at, let me see who's got the best running back core in this league. I mean, that's not that great.
Like you add Jeremiah Love to that team, I think you're easily in the top 2 or top 3. And the guy at the top there is all in. So he has no more assets to pile in.
What if the other thing too is like, given his running back core, what if you sent a 1 and a 2 and a 1 and a 2 or something, and you got Chase Brown from this guy? You give up a 1 and a 2 for Chase Brown, you give up a 1 and a 2 for Breece Hall or something like that. Either way, I'm cool buying any of the guys that he has there, Walker, Chase Brown, or Breece Hall.
I feel like this guy would want to compete. Knowing
he probably would, but he also has such a great running back core that maybe he's interested in making a move. It's also his own first that you'd be giving him back too. So maybe he's like, oh, I'd like to have my own first back or whatever.
Doesn't hurt to offer it. And then you got the all-in guy.
Yeah, I mean, this guy has, he's all in. He's not going to be focused on doing anything there. But yeah, I mean, it's going to be hard because none of the like bad teams really have a bunch of great running backs to go after. But Jeremiah Love and Trevion Henderson are both there. If you can convince this guy that his team stinks, then James Cook, Kyron Williams, and Javonte Williams all fit your build. I would say James Cook probably the one that I would want the most. If you want to just go the 2-1 straight for James Cook, see what he says kind of thing.
It seems a little steep for me.
You wouldn't pay 2-1s for James Cook?
That'd be right on the fringe.
Oh, I'd pay 2-1s for James Cook, no question.
I would much rather I would much rather just go the cheaper route of Chase Brown.
Yeah,
I'd be the same asset, and I don't have to pay 2-1s for Chase Brown.
That's fair. Yeah, that's totally fair. But yeah, like the team's in good shape. You have a middling team, quote unquote, in terms of contending value, but it's got direction. It's going in the right spot. And here's the other thing: if you wanted to, you could go and try and get your own one back and control your destiny a little bit more. But I tend to think that even in a 10-team league, this pick is somewhere between 104 and 107. Like, I don't think you're going to have a top 3 pick that you're giving away for your own pick, personally. Like, it's probably going to be in the middle of the draft, if I had to guess.
Yeah. Well, I think your pick, you can even get your own pick closer to like the 110 range, I would say even.
Yeah, I'm saying, let's say he doesn't buy like a hammer running back, though. Like, he's probably sitting at like a mid-first 10.
I mean, even still, like, I think you're probably right around the playoff cusp.
Yeah, you're a fringe playoff team. Give or take.
Yeah, I would say that.
But like in a 10-team league, the shittiest team in the playoffs is like the 105 or the 104.
Yeah. Well, that's the thing. I'd pay all of them for Love. Yeah, maybe you get something back is what I would say.
Yeah, Hunter and Love for all 3 first. I'm doing that in a heartbeat.
Give me Malik Davis all day over Jaden Blue. I just think he's a better player.
What are you guys doing with Quinshon and Hendo? I'm buying Quinshon, as I talked about in the trade targets by position, and I'm selling Hendo, as I talked about in that video as well.
I'm a little more like they're even for me.
Yeah. Anyways, we can move on to MrGooberman. Appreciate Mikey. Again, we'll send you your 2.0 as soon as we can get to it. Gooberman also a 2.0. He said, first, I'm a chubby guy. He stays until he retires. Who's chubby? Is he referring to? He's talking about Nick Chubb? Yeah, Nick Chubb. Okay. He's talking about keeping him on his roster until he retires. Other than that, this roster keeps teetering between balanced and strong rebuilder. I'm very torn on whether I should punt. Young team, young quarterback, team as a whole. My running backs are primed, although I probably need another hammer at running back and wide receiver. So strong rebuilder, as he made mention to here, hasn't had his rookie draft yet. So going to be adding Mekhi Lemon, presumably. Maybe Carnell Tate slides to him at 103. 107 there as well. Probably adding Casey Concepcion, I would imagine, with that selection based on his team needs.
It's a good team.
It's a good team. Yeah. Would you be in the market for Fernando on this team, given his quarterback core?
1 quarterback league. No.
Oh, is it a 1 quarterback league?
I saw May at 17.
1 quarterback, 10 teams, start 8. Okay. So you're not in the market for Fernando. 103. Yeah. It's probably Mekhi Lemon. 107. You're probably getting,
honestly,
not a tight end premium also.
Go take your Addison or go take your Waddle and go package your 1 or 2 of those picks and see if you can get another hammer receiver.
Yeah, I mean, his main question was, I need another hammer or running back or wide receiver. I guess the question here is, what direction do you take there? Do you take the 103 plus the 107 and try and get the 101? That's another option that he could do as well and see.
You could try that as well. You could try that as well. Maybe even do a combination of those. Like, can you take the 103, the 107 for the 101, and then at that point, a guy like Quinshon might be expendable, and then you take Quinshon plus a receiver to go upgrade a receiver? Like, what could you get with Quinshon plus Addison? I think you can realistically get into the Um,
48
Garrett
plus
Wilson.
83. Yeah, I mean, you could probably get a top 30-ish asset for that, like a MikeyUrb maybe somewhere.
I
in
mean, I
that
don't view him that
territory.
high, but
No,
I
but like
would
that territory of
Garrett
player, like
Wilson.
yeah, Garrett Wilson, Olave, maybe.
Yeah, maybe even higher. Who knows? But
I
maybe
would,
you can get Nico Collins.
yeah, maybe. I would be of the opinion that this team is still pretty young, like he said. I'm okay if you have to, like if there's no hammers on the table for you to buy. People are being really, they understandably in a 10-team league don't want to give up their hammers for like fair value. Like in a 10-team league, I want an overpay for hammers, to be honest. Like I don't want fair market value for them. Hitting on a Makai Lemon if he hits, hitting on a Casey Concepcion or a Omar Cooper or something if they hit, those guys will go a long way to helping your team. The other thing that you could do is like this guy is McConkey. Like would Jordan Addison plus the 107 get you lad? Potentially.
I mean, you could try it. I think that would be pretty good too.
What about this guy's in purgatory? I mean, he's got contending assets. He's probably thinking he can contend even though he's in purgatory. This guy is Genty. Like, this is a perfect example of a team to go after. Like, this guy's going to add Jeremiah Love to this team, and he's nowhere close to competing. So would he be motivated either A, to move Jeremiah Love, or B, to move Ashton Genty? You could take the 103 plus the 107, offer it for Genty. He has 2 1s too in 2027. So he has minivans 2027 1, which is this guy's first here, who's like a middle of the road type of team. You could take, let's say 103 plus a 27 first. Maybe that's enough to get you Jeremiah Love or Ashton Genty.
Yeah, no, you can definitely try for that. Realistically, targeting some of those weaker valuation teams in your league, trying to go and make that type of consolidation move. You are listed as a strong rebuilder, but that's coming off a 9-5 year. And I would assume that if we sort by, can we sort by contending real quick? I don't think you're far down either.
He's probably 7th or
7th? Like we make one consolidation move. Keep in mind that's not even analyzing the contention value of the picks yet. That factored in the value, but obviously.
They don't factor in contending once you add Lemon and those guys for sure.
Like you're gonna go from strong rebuilder probably to, honestly, as crazy as it sounds, probably even at bare minimum strong contender.
Yeah, I mean it's possible he's even a juggernaut with the right moves.
Could be.
If you
like this is a very well built team.
And you know what I like about this too is he has so much flexibility. He has the ability to go, I'm gonna take 103 and 107. I'm gonna buy Ashton Genty. And I'm off to the races with this team. I could spend those picks if I really want to. If I'm like, I'm going to be patient with this team, I don't think it's ready, et cetera, et cetera. You could, take Lemon, take Concepcion, whatever. Or you could even do both. Like you could be like, I'm going to take the 103 and 107. I'm going to go buy Ashton Genty with that. And then I'm going to take both my 27 first. And I'm going to go buy Rashee Rice with that. And then I'm like, oh shit, now I have a fucking wagon of a team here.
Yep.
So
for sure.
There's lots of flexibility with this one. That's the fun part about this team. Just explore opportunities to buy on players. If there's a discount, obviously shoot for a discount. You don't want to be paying, overpaying on players if you don't have to.
Yeah, and unfortunately, this is one of my guys too. You left Alec as well.
Yeah,
but
his RP is like if it ain't a short route, he sucked.
7th, 4th, and 4th in terms of the percentiles.
By the way, my worry for Elijah Surratt, that's the floor.
Yep.
Is Alec Manor. That's if it goes poorly, that's what it looks like. Yeah,
unfortunately, they just threw him into the X spot, and
which that's thankfully not going to be Surratt's role. So,
how did Tesla perform? I'm actually curious.
He was decent. The best one of that group of the new perception batch was Torrey Horton.
I figured that was the case.
Yeah,
and he was
actually a pretty good route runner.
Yeah, 80th percentile versus press is pretty interesting.
Dude, Torrey Horton might be the second best receiver on that team. No cap.
I don't think you're outrageous for saying that. The amount of times I talked about that guy on waiver videos last year was pretty insane.
We talked about him a lot on waivers for sure. Yeah, exactly.
I mean, Noel's is probably a little better than Horton's though. Like that's fucking outrageous.
No, but he was part of the first batch.
Oh, right.
Thing, the new ones that he dropped today.
74, 72, 96.
Oh yeah, dude. He had a great reception perception. Might be a smaller sample than what Horton would have dealt with, but who knows?
Yeah.
But yeah, anything else on this team that you think of? Again, we were kind of leaning towards using that flexibility to get a hammer running back or wide receiver. Yeah, I think just take advantage of your flexibility. All else fails, break glass in case of emergency, you're going to add 2 great receivers to this team in your rookie draft this year with 227 ones banked up to have buying power into the season. Like if Mekhi goes out there and smashes as a rookie, you can buy a running back then during the season with your 27 capital.
Yep, I'm on the same page as you. Overall, though, realistically, I mean, you're number 2 in value for a reason. You have the liquidity to be able to cash in. Obviously, we mentioned some consolidation moves. We'll have that all recapped on your 2.0. But yeah, I'm assuming you're all taken care of too.
Yeah, and Ellick's reception perception is in fact worse than DK's.
Unfortunately.
And I traded in Can't Wait last year. I remember I traded Ellick Io Manor after like the 3rd game of the season when he looked like he was breaking out. I traded him for 2 2s and Caleb Johnson.
Yeah,
I traded Ellick in a 3 for 2 2s and Caleb Johnson, which is like an absurd price when you think about it. Caleb Johnson was a bum, so everyone was worried about him. But I was like, I mean, I don't view them that differently. Ellick and Caleb Johnson as assets right now, like neither of them are valuable.
Yeah, it's like Kaka versus PP, except the Kaka got 2 second rounders.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
you might be better than Ellick. I don't know, man. You see me run routes out there.
Bro, I'd put Nathan up there, low key.
Yeah, Nathan might certifiably be better receiver than Ellick.
Dude, you guys missed how bad he diced up Mason in the open field.
Yeah, I mean, he diced up the 2 of us too, so it wasn't.
Oh yeah, no, I know, but like Mason was like talking shit to him, and he lined up against Nathan, and Nathan had him folding. Like,
yeah,
shout out Mason if he's still in there. That, to be fair, one thing I'll always give Mason credit for, he doesn't lie about that shit. He owns up to it.
Like, I'm a distance runner, fellas. I'm not a one of these guys.
Yeah, he's very, very humble.
Yeah. Okay, I'm going to change our hard cutoff to 2 hours and 30 minutes because I'm starting to fade a little bit here.
Yeah, I might even be down for 2:15, bro. For reference, for you guys wondering, we also recorded right before, so that's why we're a little wiped.
Yeah, we are a little wiped here. I mean, I don't think anybody's going to break any laws here if we spend a little longer on these 2.0s and whatnot, but we will be live. Yeah. You know, probably. I'm going to be gone, by the way, just so you know, Danny. I'm going to be gone Tuesday to Friday next week.
Thursday, I have a doctor's appointment. So.
Okay, so we'll. I mean, while I'm in Victoria, I would like to stream a couple drafts, or when I'm in Calgary. Probably not when I'm in Calgary because I'm only going to be there for 1 day. But yeah, Wednesday I would say is probably going to be the day that would make sense for me to stream a couple of drafts. PP versus diaper gravy. That's crazy.
Oh God. Yeah, and hopefully by then, again, knock on wood, Saturday night, maybe Monday night, could see the Habs. Hopefully it's done by Saturday night, but by the time that you are out west, hopefully it is Canes Habs Eastern Conference Final.
Yeah, so they can get they can play for the sheer honor of getting belt to ass by the Colorado Avalanche in the Stanley Cup.
Colorado does look like a unit. I'm not even going to deny that.
Yeah.
You got Nathan McKinnon ripping 10 shots a game. Like, how do you even generate 10 shots? Like you got to be insane to be able to get that.
That's like Pee-wee numbers. Like that's like the type of shit like my friends would have done who played AAA hockey if they played ball hockey or something like in the spring.
Well, that's why like the skill gap of like all-time talent versus legitimately like point per game talent in the NHL, it's just night and day. It's like, yeah, sure, maybe your favorite player can produce 105 points and McDavid technically only produce 135. You put these guys in a one-game setting and you have McDavid creating 15 to 20 chances in one game. Like, how many guys in history have been able to do that? Nathan McKinnon's one of them too. He's probably already top 25 all time.
The fact that we don't win the gold medal with MiXael, Connor McDavid, and Nathan McKinnon as our top 3 line is insane.
Dave's not going to be proud of that.
Yeah, Dave's from Toronto, so he understands the struggle of being like, why are you not a Leaf fan?
Hey.
Anyways.
Hey, you got McKenna. You can enjoy McKenna.
We are going to enjoy McKenna unless we do something stupid here. Get Rich 80 here. Overall team sustainability after 2026. So he's wondering long-term, what is he looking like? And then should I blow it up after 27? What are any missing pieces outside of flex quarterback in 2026? And he said trying to unload Taylor as well. So
number 3 in
the analyzer, strong contender, 2 super flex league, my man. So you are not in great shape at the quarterback position with Jacoby Brissett, Mac Jones as your QB2 and QB3 here. So I mean, like you said, flex QB2 in 2026 is his biggest need.
Yeah. I guess the common question he has here is like, does he tear it down? And I think if I had a second quarterback here, I would absolutely just run it back. But without a second sustainable quarterback, like if you had like a Trevor Lawrence in addition to this team, I would be like, oh, all the way you run this thing back.
Yeah.
But knowing what it would cost to acquire a quarterback to A, B, what it would do to the banked up liquidity, do you maybe shift gears?
No, I don't.
No?
This team's
You go
away.
all in again?
This team's still very good.
I'm just saying because there are two juggernauts. That's why I'm saying that.
This is what I would do. First of all, because he's my go-to number one contending buy, let's see what team he's on.
Wizzle the wide receiver.
So can you take Jonathan Taylor plus your 27 first and get Chase Brown and CJ Stroud from this guy? Maybe he won't because he doesn't have any other quarterback options, or conversely, let's swipe. He probably won't do that. Let's swipe that. Can you take Jonathan Taylor and tier him down into Chase Brown and pick up additional capital on top of it or additional assets of any kind? Because I would rather have Chase Brown than Jonathan Taylor pretty much in redraft. And I know he's probably a first of liquidity apart in Dynasty.
Go to your team or his team, but you know what I mean. Go to GM's team. Can JT plus Tootin get you Barkley and Chase Brown? Like, is that what you would go for?
Maybe. I mean, you could also
maybe Worthy instead of Tootin actually would probably be better if you can throw that in there. This guy's got a young wide receiver core. Maybe he's going to try to keep getting young. Worthy plus Jonathan Taylor might be able to get you those two.
Yeah. I mean, it looks like based on his question, it looks like he was playing this like, I don't have to start a quarterback in my super flex. It almost sounds like how he was playing this last year because he was like, I had Josh Allen as my QB1. And, if Brissett wasn't starting or if Mac wasn't starting, I just played a flex player.
Yeah. I mean, you went 12-2. It obviously clearly worked out. You finished on an 8-game win streak. Did he say if he won the championship?
He didn't. I would assume he did if he ended on an 8-game win streak.
Yeah, but like other people can, or is everybody else on
streaks as well?
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know exactly what he ended up doing, but my thought process here is I am fine trading my 27-1 and my 28-1 for a quarterback as long as they're a needle mover, as long as they're a guy that both QB, like
Trevor Lawrence.
Yeah. Is this a Trevor Lawrence team? Is this a Brock Purdy team? Is this like I'd be fine for Jordan Love in a piece. I'd be fine for Dak Prescott in a piece. Can we look
at the top two teams real quick? Because I am curious because I feel like they're going to have especially stronger firepower receiver.
I mean, Purdy and Prescott are on this guy's team, so that might be challenging.
Might be challenging there. And he's got extra capital.
I mean, let's find a guy with a QB to sell here.
He's keeping Mendoza,
Cam and Bryce Young. This guy is Goff. Goff would make sense.
Yeah.
Could you sell your 27? Like in one league that you and I are in, I sold my 27-1 straight for Goff. Like
I think that's reasonable.
As a contending team, I think if this guy has 3 1s banked up already too, he's probably motivated to sell or to collect ones. Like I think this would make a lot of sense.
Can you get a Rico Dowdle topped in? Like
or Devontae Adams or AJ? Like, I mean, you could go bigger than what we're suggesting as well. Cause you do have would you trade your 27 and 28 first for AJ Brown and Jared Goff? Then you get you get a receiver production piece out of it and you get a quarterback too. I think that would make a lot of sense for both parties, by the way, because that guy needs help at that position.
Maybe see if you can accomplish something like that. You can even get like a Dowdle thrown on. I think that would make sense. Also, shout out Desire, appreciate it. That's totally up to you. I'd appreciate it, but
you want to bring me a card, Desire?
Let's go. Shout out, appreciate Desire.
Yeah.
Hockey Talk is the Canadian Adderall. You're not wrong.
It is the Canadian Adderall.
Yeah. What's crazy about that game is like, again, obviously the Americans who watch hockey and understand hockey are going to understand like the context of that game. But for all the people that were just watching, like, oh, it's Canada versus USA, therefore better. It's like, I don't think a lot of people realize just how unlucky fucking Canada was in that game. Like for those that aren't like actually like following hockey religiously, the expected goals in that game were so outrageously poor. It was basically the international version of the Habs versus Lightning Game 7.
I could do hockey too, he says. What do you want?
There you go.
I'll take any Toronto sports teams if you got them, basketball, hockey, whatever. I also would take any Buccaneers players, or I mean, you got a CD card for Danny. You know my guys do. Like if you're an avid fan of the channel, you just got a T. Higgins or a Devontae Smith or something like that. I'd be a fan of too.
Also, still coping with this. You sound like my kid right now. Yeah, no. Fair and square. US won the game. That's not what I'm saying, and I'm not saying
they won.
I know you guys
are that day.
Yeah. just like, again, Montreal beat the Tampa Bay Lightning. People can point to 29-9 shots. People can point
you're
to
not better.
Scoring you know what I mean?
Your team is so mid, it hurts. When I watch the Habs, I'm like, oh my God, this is such a boring team to watch.
Says Bettman's favorite stepchild who got awarded with the first overall pick for
finishing. Hey, you can talk shit about the Leafs all you want. We ain't boring.
No, I'm saying you're Bettman's freaking favorited stepchild, you know?
Yeah. Bettman loves us. Anyways.
Yeah.
This team, I'm personally comfortable. Like his overall question was, is my team sustainable after 2026? I think it is. I think that you could be competitive for 3 more years here. It's just that you need to, like I said, I would tear down from Jonathan Taylor because I worry about his long-term outlook. And I view him kind of as a peak sell high right now. Get a Chase Brown plus for him or something like that. Kenneth Walker plus for him, something. And then get a quarterback 2 using your picks. That would be what I would do in your situation.
Appreciate that, by the way, Desire. And see you in Austin. And
Desire. Were you there last year? Who were you? What was your name? I'm curious. Let us know in the chat.
And absolutely, Brock, in a 1-game setting, hockey is chaos. Like it's a lot of bad. Like, dude, the Sabres won a game against the Habs the other day. Like the game, not the game that just happened, game 5, but in game 4. And their tying goal was by shooting it off of the back wall, hitting off the back of our goalie and going in. Like that is the type of shit that happens in hockey in a 1-game setting.
Oh, it's a shit show. Anyways, new Dynasty League. So a brand new startup here for TivMadness, the Kratos Dynasty. This is a 2.0 as well. So we will be doing a 2.0 for this. I traded Henderson for Rowan Vargo's first. Where is he? Okay, he's the Kratos Dynasty. All right, so he's balanced. During the startup, he got that guy's first and second for Trevion Henderson, which is, I would say, very, very good process move from my perspective. I'm 1 player over the roster limit, and the roster is locked with +1 tight end premium ignored by many. So it's a 2x to tight ends, and he has Warren, Kraft, Kincaid. I think this is a very good strategy for new startups. If people don't understand how valuable a 2x premium is, you can then sell Kraft during the season, next season, in the off season next year, after people have had a full year or a couple of games or whatever to digest and realize truly how valuable a 2x premium is.
So Corey, it is ironic that you're the one saying that for how negotiations between you and AJ have gone in tight end premiums.
Yeah, that is correct. But it's not in 2x's. I understand in a 2x.
Okay. But it's just funny. I'm like, how ironic, because AJ's probably watching right now, stroking his beard, saying, Corey, interesting there.
Oh, Desire. He was the one filming the reaction clips, like the confession cam.
Oh shit, yeah. No, that's fire. What the heck?
For the life of me, I can't remember your first name. I'm shitty with names, but I do I remember your face now that I'm thinking of it. So
I remember too. Yeah.
Okay. This team is fresh out of a startup. I think he structured it well. This is like a classic you and me startup where you go real light on the running backs. You got some upside pieces to sell during the season, a Brooks, a Warren, a Gainwell, those guys you can maybe cash out on. But generally, you're going to build around wide receivers and quarterbacks and tight ends. I guess you're a little light at the receiver position for a build like this. And also you have a lot of work to do still. Like you still got to sell DJ Moore. You still got to sell, like I would personally want to maybe sell one of the quarterbacks that you have as well, just because I don't think you necessarily need Love and Stroud. But it's a good frame. It's a good shell for what you need to be doing going forward. I guess your goal here is going to be to collect more and more picks as you go along.
Shout out Ryan, by the way. Yeah, no, I remember now. That was
dope.
And I got progressively more and more drinks in me as the night went down.
Yeah, which explains the I'm trying to think, what was the worst pick you made?
Probably the whole draft, given how my season went. No, I'm kidding.
I mean, you might be going to Denny's, but I look at your draft and I go, I don't think you drafted that poorly.
I also traded half my team the next day.
Yeah, that is true.
What I'm trying to think, because I remember too, Sal had the UFC pulled up and I'm trying to remember what card it was. Fuck.
I can speak for all of us when I say no one cares, but yeah, as far as like the draft is concerned, I think no one really has any memorable late round picks other than Mason trying to sell me Ja'Cory Krosky-Merritt the entire season. He's like, yeah, I'll give you Ja'Cory Krosky-Merritt. Just give me Ladd McConkey. And I'm like, how about I don't do that? Anyways, this team is a work in progress, very clearly, right? when people don't understand the scoring format, you have to educate them about the scoring format, or they have to see for themselves how shitty it is to have a bad tight end. And in a 2x tight end premium, they're going to see Warren ripping off 16, 17, 18 points per game. They're going to see Kraft ripping off 13, 14, 15 points per game. They're going to see Kincaid ripping off maybe even 13 points per game himself. So once the season gets going and the players start producing, that's when your selling window is going to come for these tight ends. Because right now, like you said, if you're getting discounts on them in the startup, then people don't understand the rules.
Do you remember what week we were in Austin last year?
It would have been August, like 12th to 20th, somewhere in that range.
Okay, because was it the Shemaev over Duplessis card? Now that I'm remembering,
Again, I don't know or care.
fair enough. That I was dead wrong on that, but I will say I did make some on UFC after, so
All right,
feeling good. But Prata's absolutely annihilated Jack, unfortunately.
yeah,
I thought only Islam could expose those weaknesses, but yeah.
That's a no more UFC talk alarm. We have way too many reviews. Okay. Anything else on this team? Other than, you got a lot of work to do. That's kind of just my takeaway here is like, you have to sell DJ more. You have to educate the market on the tight end premium. You have to collect more picks. Value windows pop up for a Jalen Warren. You sell him. Kenneth Gainwell, you sell him, etc.
Well, you went into the startup knowing that they were devaluing tight ends. Just wait. Try to get, 1.2x what you paid for them in the startup. Don't go hold up and say, hey, I need double what I paid for them. Like, nobody's going to give you that out of pride. They're going to be like, well, yeah, I'm willing to give you more than you paid for them, but I'm not willing to give you double it. Like, that is the biggest thing. If you're going to hoard, you accept your value. Like, you accept the positive value gain that you get. If you're trying to chase the tippity top of the valuation, people are always going to be hesitant because they weren't the first one to invest.
Yeah, exactly. Especially in a league format where like you might know what a 2x means, but they might not. And they're going to pay you like, let's say a 1.7x premium price as opposed to a 2x premium price. So you might just have to deal with that, which is part of why I don't like hoarding, quote unquote. Like people did it with quarterbacks a couple of years ago. People do it with tight ends in a 2x tight end premium. It's one thing to take a sliding value or two. I do think taking Kincaid where you took him maybe would have been.
This is the one because everybody and their mother, if they're competing, is going to want a Tucker Kraft, is going to want a Tyler Warren. Very few people in the league are actually going to want to go out and trade for Dalton Kincaid.
He'd have to be really kind of breaking out for that to be the case. Like he'd have to be having the best season of his career type of thing.
Yeah, absolutely.
So yeah, again, I like the build. I think you structured it well, but you do have quite a bit of work to do still. So it's going to be something that is a long-term process. And like you said, you got a 1 and a 2, you got some extra players, 1 player over the roster limit. If I had to drop somebody, it would be Tyquan Thornton pretty easily. And then he said can trade in season. He said the roster is locked, so he can't actually trade until in season, which is very kind of stupid, to be honest. Whoever your commissioner is should change that rule because it limits fun. Trading in the offseason. Maybe it's because it's everyone's first startup. Like he said, it's a new Dynasty league. Maybe it's everyone's new to Dynasty as well. And you don't want any fleaces happening to make the league outrageous, which is, again, you got to put training wheels on the league. I think that's fine. It is a commie-ass league based on all the premises that we play, but it does put training wheels on a new Dynasty league. Like, for example, my friends and I, my redraft friends, tried to play Dynasty a couple of years ago, and they didn't know what the fuck they were doing, and the league folded in 1 year. So if we had put training wheels on it, maybe it results in people playing long-term. So if that's what you need to do, then maybe that's something that makes sense for you. Although we would never do it.
Yep, for sure.
Also, I forgot to mention this at all throughout the stream. We have a new listener league, by the way, that you guys can join if you want to. You can submit 1 entry for free if you are not site subscribed or anything like that. Or you can get bonus entries if you are a site subscriber. So if you check that out in the chat, it's also linked in the stream as well. You can get in the league with us. We're going to be drawing names for that about a week from today, give or take. Saturday, the 23rd is when we're going to be drawing names for that. So make sure you guys enter to join that with us. But anyways, I think we can move on to the next team from the Kratos. I think he's got a pretty straightforward path. He's going to have to be active. He's going to have to make moves. PPR Dizzy here. This is another 2.0. Made an all-in trade this morning. These always scare me. When someone says this sentence, this always scares me. I like that you're number 1 in the analyzer. And
yes, that's what I was going to say. it's a little bit easier to stomach when I see the number 1 in the analyzer, but when I see that statement, and then I would see you in like number 5
Purgatory or
number
something.
6. Yeah. But let's take a look again. You are a juggernaut, so I more than likely am going to like this move. So
And
let's
plus
see.
a 107 and a mid to late
Yeah.
projected 27 first for
All
Amari
for that.
Hampton is more than a fair price to pay for him. I would actually have been willing to throw in like a 2 or
Yeah.
a couple.
Well, exactly, right? And in terms of the quarterbacks, Drake May, Kyler Murray, Shedeur Sanders, you're kind of hoping wins out that job. Maybe come season you realize, hey, like I might have to throw next year's 2 to be able to patch a quarterback, which
QB3s are overrated sometimes.
That's what I mean. That's an issue for future you. On top of that, that's assuming that Kyler Murray can't give you 18 plus points per game, which this is the best situation of his career. He looks like he's going to be fully healthy coming into the situation. And we're already hearing reports that's basically a foregone conclusion he will start, which again, we could have hypothesized, we could have, talked about and assumed, but the fact that we're already hearing those rumblings basically affirms the fact that what are we to be scared of with Kyler Murray? Long term, you can point to, okay, he doesn't have a sustainable 3, 4, 5 year type of extension. But in terms of redraft, man, I have no real issues with him. I think he's going to be right in the range of the mid quarterback 2 of my rankings and possibly higher. And that's only given the risk that he didn't look like himself last year.
Yeah, I don't think there's really any risk to be worried about that they want to get a look at JJ McCarthy at any point during the season either. Like, unless if the Vikings were really garbage,
they'd have to bottom out.
Yeah, like maybe they want to get a look at McCarthy. But even in that scenario, I don't envision them being like, we have to get a look at JJ McCarthy. Like Kevin O'Connell like might get fired if they really stink this year.
That's a good point.
I don't think he should, but I think it's possible he does.
They can't afford to give JJ a look.
No, they might just be taking a quarterback high in the draft or whatever. But getting a younger running back versus a proven vet makes sense. I talked about it. Maybe the reason you made this trade is because of the video I did, the Dynasty trade targets by position. I said in that video, if you're going to go out and you're going to sell 27 capital and stuff, you better get something damn good in return. And Amari Hampton was one of the names I brought up as part of who I'd be willing to go out and sell like multiple picks for, or a player plus a 27 first for, because Amari Hampton's a difference-making 23-year-old running back. That's a huge deal for a competitive team.
For sure. And I was just pulling up what food to get after. But yeah, Amari Hampton, I would have been willing to give even close to like 104 in a first.
Yeah, it looks like Peter's in the chat right now here. He's PE.
Yeah.
I'm assuming this is him. Curious your thoughts on how I'm set up this season and beyond. And he said it's maybe a gamble going after Hampton. You would probably know this, I'd imagine, because I've seen you in here before. You and I have no problem gambling on an Amari and Hampton. Like the breadcrumbs for him being a great fantasy running back are all there. 15 points per game as a rookie, first round pick, great prospect, offensive line back healthy. Like it's not really that much of a gamble in our mind. He's pretty much locked and loaded, a top 15 player for us in redraft.
Hear me out. Do you now take a Tyrell McMillan plus maybe even Bucky Irving and see if you can get a superstar receiver? Like do you go after like a CeeDee Lamb type with those two? Do you go after?
I mean, it's a start 9, so depends if you want the depth or not. Like I'd be willing to take Tyrell McMillan and Burden and go get us, because I'm not as high on Burden. So those two guys going getting like a Chase or even like I'd be willing to do that for Nakua or Jackson Smith and Jigba as well. Like I'd be cool.
Those guys all same tier for me.
I probably wouldn't be willing to do it for Neighbors or St. Brown or Lamb, but that'd be reasonably close if you got something back.
Like I would be willing to do Bucky plus McMillan for the second tier of receivers. I'd be willing to do Burden plus McMillan for the first tier of receivers, kind of where I'm at.
Yeah, that makes sense. I mean, you could also address the tight end position, but I'm personally fine rolling with Gadsden, Likely, Strange, and Helm. Like I'm totally cool with the tight end core like that. This is exactly how I would build a tight end core, to be honest with you.
This is how Corey cheapens out and makes like a decent tight end core. Is he'll wait for like all guys in this range and then just take like 3 or 4 of them.
Yeah, hell yeah. So again, how do you think you're set up for this season and beyond? I think this season, I mean, if we go by contending rankings, you're number 2 in the analyzer. This guy's got you beat because he has Genty and Bijan and JSN.
Your team goes blow for blow with him. Hence the evaluation is 49-27 versus 45-37.
And yours is way deeper than his team too. Like he might have the better, more elite assets, like the irreplaceable Bijan, Genty, JSN, but
your quarterbacks have a much higher ceiling.
Yeah. And you also have really good producers too in Walker and Hampton and whatnot. He does have you. It's crazy to me that Mark Andrews is going higher than Rondé Gadsden in redraft. But
that's wild.
I mean, maybe people think Andrews is going to be sick now with Likely gone. I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, overall though, like I said, you move McMillan, you try to go consolidate there, get some more point equity. Say McMillan's probably what, a 14-ish type of point projection this year is probably where I'd have him in his sophomore year. He was at what, 12 last year?
Yeah.
Yeah, so natural 2+ point type of progression. If it costs you, a piece like Bucky or maybe next year's 2 or something like that, you can go and tier up, try to get to the 17 to 19 plus range.
Yeah. Yeah, that makes total sense to me. Yeah, I don't think there's anything else we need to add, but obviously, Peter, we're going to send you your 2.0 as well. So you're going to have some actionable stuff. I'm sure we'll probably bring up, tiering
nice
off of Ketterall, McMillan, or Luther Burden, or Bucky, like some of the stuff that we talked about already. Yeah. So that's what the point of this is. Like, again, if you guys are wondering, well, why do we need the 2.0 if you guys are going to talk about it on the review? It's like you and I are workshopping this live, and then we're going to give you concrete suggestions after the stream is done.
And it's also something that you can hang on to. It's something that you can download. It's something that if you submit the same team multiple times, you can kind of see the progression of it. It's realistically the utilization of it is not just necessarily the trades that are listed on it, but more so the fact that you can track the progress as you go. So if you submit, like I said, multiple times, by the third submission, you're like, oh crap, what was told on this submission, I've actually finally seen start to materialize in terms of the team, improving, or the team kind of getting that direction set.
Yeah, and I think one thing that we should probably do on our end, Danny, is I know the domain guys in their Discord, in their section of their Discord, they have the blueprint workshop where a lot of people are going, this is what my blueprint looked like. What do you guys think? And there's a lot of shareability aspect to it for people who are in the community. Like, because I don't think anybody wants to share this with their league mates, but in the community, like other FSE listeners, maybe you guys want, their opinion on certain trades and whatnot, and you can share that in the Discord. So maybe I'll put a mental note there to carve out a section of the Discord for people to share.
And that's something we definitely have to do a lot better of a job at. Like the domain guys kill it. And obviously like me and you aren't like necessarily like responding to everything.
It's just a time allocation thing for me. I would rather put my time in other places than in the Discord.
But I'll give them a lot of credit. Like the community they built has been dominant in that Discord, man. There's a lot.
Yeah, their Discord. They have some Discord members that are sending in like tens of thousands of messages in the Discord, like lots of helpful stuff. And the bright side about our Discord is that you still get access to a lot of the channels in their Discord too. So,
for sure.
So Schnitzel here has a team review. So Schnitzel, if you're listening to this, I don't know if you meant to submit a 2.0 because you submitted it looks like what happened to me here is that he just submitted a regular review and then donated a bunch on the regular review. So Schnitzel, if you're listening to this and you want a 2.0, we'll send you a 2.0 for sure. Yeah. But he didn't select that option. So maybe we'll just send it to him anyways or wait for him to respond. Anyways, Schnitzel here has a very high stakes league too. I think the league is called a $1,250 something FFPC. So it's a high stakes league that he's in.
I think I remember Davis mentioning that he was in a couple of them.
Yeah. So basically the team here is it all gas? Hold on. Let me take a look on the side.
He's Schnitzel's Bananas. He's
Schnitzel's Bananas. Duh. Yeah. Okay. So first out of semis, regular season, he was second place. He made some moves. He's hoping to make the final and win. He said, what else do I need? So it's a two quarterback, 12 team start 10 PPR tight end premium. So the running back core is a little on the weaker side for what I would want.
He's got some decent depth that maybe like Rashad White, Jalen Warren, J.K. Dobbins probably going to project for good early season touches. So like, even though on a value perspective, maybe you would want another like top 12-ish level running back, like pure value wise, I do think in numbers, he can make up for it in production.
Yeah, absolutely. The other thing that's a little challenging here too, is that in an ideal world, I'd maybe have a better quarterback 1 or a better quarterback 2. Yeah. You want to look at it. Like, I think your quarterbacks are fine. Like, I'm cool rolling with those guys, but I don't look at them and go, yeah, those are my dudes. They're going to be wagons for me with Bo Nix and Shuck. Well, you're probably more so looking at lower end QB1 production with both of those guys.
Well, luckily, if we look at the teams that are above you right now, it's not like we have perfect contending teams. Like, if we go to all gas, he's the number 10 running back.
I mean, this guy's got Bijan, Gibbs, and Chase and McBride. It's a pretty wagony team.
That guy specifically, yes. I more so meant like the 2 than 3. This guy probably could use another hammer at running back as well. The guy above you has the number 8 running back core and the number 5 quarterback core. So like outside of realistically that top guy who I feel like is like pretty much stacked from, top to bottom.
Yeah. This guy's gonna be hard to beat, man. I can't lie. Like
he is.
This is one of those teams that we could cut either way where we could be like, hey, it might actually make sense to be proactive and rebuild this thing. Or we could go, hey, anything can happen. Like lots of, like I'm sure he actually mentioned in his chat, he said that the domain guys did a blueprint for him, I think is what he said. So maybe he's already submitted a team to them and they've already given him some advice. I would imagine Nathan and Avery would say, hey, you're a top 4 team. Anything can happen once you're in the playoffs, which is very true. But at the same time, like, the projection difference when you go up against that guy is going to be pretty significant. And I wouldn't be opposed if you can get great value for some of your players to 1 year punting this team and rebuilding it into something better.
Because there's 2 or 3 guys that are on your level and then 1 guy that is very clearly above your level. So I don't disagree with you, Corey, because in theory, yeah, sure. Maybe out of the 6 playoff teams, 5 of them have very, very similar win equity. But if you say, hey, I match up against that one team and I have about a 30% likelihood of actually beating him, then at that point, it's like, if it was just you contending with them, sure, give yourself that 30% chance, go and win. But when that 30% is also 4 other teams similar to your level, that's where I'm a little bit hesitant. So I know what you mean. Like, it's very tricky. You've kind of already made that obligation that I want to compete. You don't have your 2028 picks listed. I don't know if that's because you spent them or because they're just not listed here. Like, do you have any other information there, Corey?
No, he just has the 27 picks here, and I don't see any rookies on his team other than Damon Claiborne. So I think the rookie draft has happened already. He might just have not had any picks in the class.
Do other people have 2028 picks? If you check. Okay, so everybody just has a first and a second.
Yeah, maybe you can't trade beyond the first.
Got you. Okay.
27 picks, but it looks like he just had some lower end picks this year because Claiborne and Raritan are his only rookies on the team, so he probably picked them up like 3rd round or something like that.
I mean, I think it's very clear that you just have to contend this year, unfortunately, because again, like there is that one juggernaut in this league, but realistically, you have Amon, you have Rasheed, you have Devon, you have Bo Nix, who, you know, you're expecting low on quarterback, 1 production. Maybe Tyler Shuck does take the step. Like, I do think you have to lean on the contending side. Just be wary. Track it mid-season. See kind of where you're at. If that juggernaut team is fucking 7-0 and outscoring everybody by 30 points per game, maybe at that point you get proactive in season.
Yeah, it's important to understand where the other teams are too.
Yes.
Not just the juggernaut. Because if this is one guy, like, and you're the 2nd best team in the league, and you know you can obviously still win. Anything can happen. But if you're in 4th, the juggernaut's annihilating everybody, and you're barely scraping by in points for, you're like 5th or 6th in points for or something, then I would be proactive on a situation like that. But again, it's a good team. It's a very good team. What I wouldn't do though, and maybe this is what you're asking of us right now, is sell my 1 and 2 right now.
Not right now. Absolutely not.
Yeah, not season, right now.
If you're 5-1 and you're right on that guy's heels, maybe you make that decision in season. Maybe MikeyUrb gets back to top 7 level running back value, or Igbuka takes a clear step up, or Kyle Pitts maybe even improves. He got,
I love the receiver core that you have. Like, as far as like some of my favorite breakout candidates of the year, like I love me some St. Brown, Rice, Igbuka, Odunze, and AJ Brown. Like all 5 of those guys are going to be inside my top 40 overall players, 45 overall players in redraft.
And I guess the other thing too for me specifically is I like Bo Nix. I like Tyler Shuck clearly more than even Corey does. If you had one more like stud quarterback, I'd feel even better.
What if it was on the table as an offer? Would you trade Shuck plus a first for Lawrence, or would you still want to hold that first if possible?
The issue is I would want one of those quarterbacks in addition to what you have. If you have to start giving up your liquidity to go patch that's where I think you get yourself into trouble.
Yeah, it's different if you pay Shuck plus Odunze for Lawrence plus another receiver back or something like that.
That's kind of where I'm at too. I think that 1st and 2nd, especially if you do decide this is a production window, you do want to compete this year, that 1st and 2nd is going to be able to get you so much point per game type of equity. Like, could you get 20 plus points per game?
Oh yeah,
with that
probably.
1st and 2nd, right?
Yeah, the McCaffrey managers maybe selling or something like that. You could definitely get that if it's available.
Maybe you can get McCaffrey plus Dak for your 1st, 2nd, and a piece in season because, I mean, obviously I'm saying that hypothetically. Maybe we go to some of the bottom teams who could be selling and we see what assets might be available. Like Purgatory, this guy, he might not be willing to give up some of his young quarterbacks.
Looking team.
He's got 4 valuable.
Dart maybe is someone you can acquire from him. I don't know.
Goff.
This guy's got Jonathan Taylor
Goff
and
McCaffrey.
Yeah, I mean, he's probably like, this is you got to wait for this team to bottom out because he definitely thinks he's competing type of team.
He's got somebody else's 1st round pick. I guess he doesn't have his own, so maybe like that would disincentivize him from doing that.
Yeah, I mean, this guy is Jaden Daniels, even like the young running backs that he has. There's not a lot of like I mean, this guy,
Stafford.
this is a good team to go after. I mean, you got Stafford, you got Cook, you got Barkley. Like, these are some good pillar competitive pieces that you could go and acquire.
Stafford and Cook for a first, second apiece. Stafford and Barkley for a first and a second. Like, what couldn't you cook here?
Yeah, Stafford and I would be. To be honest, I think you should probably have to pay more than that, a first and a second for Stafford and Barkley. But that's something else. That's about the range that we're talking here in terms of the price tag that you're going after. But yeah. Just keep in mind, like, don't get too impatient here, because you got an uphill battle to climb against that juggernaut. Like, that guy's not a Thanos, but his production feels like one.
Yeah, no doubt. And again, we'll have that all organized for you on the 2.0. But are there any real other thoughts aside from don't make the all-in move right now? I'm sure that's why you submitted the review. You're basically asking, hey, I have this first and second. What else do I need? I would be hesitant to spend that first and second, at least till I see what the context of the league is for the first 6 weeks of the year.
Yeah, stay patient with it.
And you know what? And once you know what you need, because who knows? What if the quarterbacks work out against you? Like,
what if Rashad White's an RB1 this year? Like, you might not need a running back.
What if Kyle Pitts were to go down, and then at that point you need a tight? Like, you don't really know what needs will emerge until the season.
Aside from, it's probably not going to be receiver. That's pretty much it.
Yeah. There would need to be a lot going wrong if the need is receiver.
Yeah, for sure. So again, Schnitzel, if you did want a 2.0, appreciate the donation that you left us. But if there is a 2.0 that you wanted out of that, and that's maybe selected the wrong option or something like that, just let us know, and we can definitely do that for you. Okay, let me just do a little quick progress upgrade
reviews.
We have 3 reviews that took place before we went live, all of which are 2.0s. Brock submitted a review that he said he's cool to wait on. I think Michael, we could probably wait on as well, because he submitted it during the stream, and it's a live DD that actually he did pay for the review, so we probably should do that. It wasn't a voucher review. Okay, let's let me see, what do we got here? Nathan free, Taco free. This Jay was a dono. Okay, let's we're gonna be a little bit picky with these, just because some of these were vouchers and some of them were paid. So I do want to make sure that people are paying for stuff get their shit answered as quick as possible. Let's answer these couple trade questions that we have, and then we'll do Michael's review and Jay's review, because they added some donos on top of their thing. So
sounds good.
I might get through those.
I might have to do some buy one get one free sushi after.
Yeah, and we will. Don't worry, Nathan and Taco and Brock. We will get to your reviews early next week at the latest. Splendid nudge here. What do? It's on an orphan I just acquired, currently in purgatory. Is Jeremiah Love and Brian Thomas Jr. enough for Jamar Chase on an orphan?
Yes.
You think so?
Well, you have my 3 overall, but I have the range from 3 to 9. I view the asset of the 101 being 1 tier after Jamar. Maybe you try to squeeze a little extra, but if you are in purgatory, like, this is probably about a 90% of the deal on the dollar type of deal.
It is. I think I just want a couple more outs to win the deal, like another 1 for 2 swap, or another 2 twos.
May as well try. I'm sure he went through that process, but again, if you haven't gone through that process, splendid. If that's a cold inbox offer, try to work with it a little bit. Try to massage it out. Try to see if you can get a little extra on top of here.
Yeah,
but honestly, if
you're throw in 2 twos, just to give you like I said, when I'm selling a guy like Chase, and I'm in an orphan situation, I want like a lot of outs to win the deal. Because what if Jeremiah Love, he probably won't, but what if Jeremiah Love for whatever reason never reaches the heights that Jamar Chase is reaching in terms of his production? What if Brian Thomas Jr. doesn't ever bounce back to the level that we thought he was going to bounce back to? Then you don't really win that trade. You want a couple twos to at least throw a couple darts to make the deal better.
So what pick this year on top of 101 would you need added what pick this year would you need added on top of the 101 to give up Chase?
I'd probably want a top 10 pick.
And I would argue Brian Thomas Jr. is easily worth that.
Oh, sorry. You're saying I'm saying in addition to these.
Okay.
I'd want a top 10 pick.
Okay. I wouldn't be quite there.
I would want a pick that gets me Mekhi Lemon.
So 103, 104.
Yeah.
I would have Brian Thomas Jr. valued about the 106.
Yeah. So I said, I would need, and to trade up from 106 to 103, 104, I feel like I need about 110 to do that. So that's why I'm saying like 110 is, if you added 110 to this trade and maybe threw him a 2 back or something just to balance it out a little bit, that's how I would structure this deal. Especially like you said, this is a cold inbox in your offer, or offer in your inbox.
Yeah. Try to massage it again. Worst case scenario, if you have to accept this, I'm not opposed to it. It actually, does it come out as a fair trade?
It does.
That
Yeah.
league.
It's a little tight for me. It's
Yeah.
a little like
Sure.
it's Chase. It's Jamar. Like he's
Yeah,
monster.
no doubt. 12 team start 11 also like factors in a little bit. Yeah, it's probably about the bottom of the range I would consider for Jamar.
For
Jamar.
Jamar. Yeah.
Yeah, not Lamar.
Ralph here has another trade.
This happened in the league that we're in, I believe. No,
did it?
No, wait, actually, never mind. I remember Wilson first Chase being involved in a deal I saw go through, but maybe it's a different league. My apologies. Probably not our league.
Probably not. No. So Jamar and MiXael Lemon. It's funny I just mentioned him. Genty, Garrett, and a mid first. It says fair, and according to my rankings, he's actually even teensy bit leaning towards the Genty side.
So Genty plus mid first for Jamar. That basically goes back to I have Genty and Jeremiah Love, very similar range. What would you need on top of them for Jamar? Because ultimately MiXael and Garrett kind of cancel each other out.
Yeah, and I actually prefer MiXael. So it's close, but I prefer MiXael. This is a fair trade. It says fair trade. It is fair.
Yeah.
I would, if you really need the running back position, you want to add the extra first for liquidity. I think this is fair. I can argue it either way.
Yeah, I'm on the same page as you.
Okay, so the last two that we're going to do here is Michael did pay for this review, so we're going to make sure we do this for him right away.
Real quick, too, if anybody is submitting reviews right now, we are planning to have another stream by Tuesday, maybe, Corey?
Yeah, I'm going to be gone. I'm going to be flying to Victoria on Tuesday, so I would say it'll probably be on Monday,
if
anything.
Sorry, I thought you said you're leaving on Wednesday. That's on me.
No, I'm leaving on Tuesday morning.
Okay,
so Monday will probably be when the stream is.
Okay. Yeah, because I know some people are they're tough negotiators. You're talking about a little. We've gone back and forth. Oh, so Ralph? He's the one who said, yeah. Wait, is that Ralph?
You on a burner account right now?
4bet from. Is that Ralph's burner?
Might be. Anyways, Ash Zin Janty. That's crazy. I just got CMC and Loveland.
Appreciate it, by the way, Nathan.
Yes. I don't know if I should spend my 27 first or hold off. Advice on any moves I should make. My team did not even make playoffs, even though scored third most points for. That's unfortunate. P.S. I've rebuilt this team from the ground up, taking only our advice. Okay, so he's dedicated follower here, and
he's cooking.
There's one thing you can say about us. There's one thing you can say. People make fun of I'm the perpetual rebuild person. Like there's always a perpetual rebuilder in every dynasty league.
Yeah.
You and I are not those people. We might be fans of rebuilding and being proactive and tearing things down maybe earlier than we should, but we're never perpetually rebuilding. We eventually do get our teams to this point.
So not the flex. He's not on a burner.
Oh, okay. So I thought that they're tough negotiators. We've gone back and forth. I thought he was referring. Maybe this is Splendid. Maybe potentially.
Maybe that would make more sense. Let us know, 4bet. But not to toot my own horn a little bit, but to toot my own horn a little bit. Respectfully, even on my worst teams in my portfolio, you're not getting anything that says fucking pipsqueak. You're not getting anything that says fucking fraudulent. You're not getting none of that. The worst teams in my portfolio are 4 balanced teams. Balanced.
Yeah. Admittedly, I do have one team that's in purgatory. One.
I'm unlucky.
But it is a Devi league, and I have like a Mod Hardy in my Devi pool, which is not being accounted for in the purgatory.
Well, that's the thing too. Flock and Right is a Devi league, and I have
my only purgatory.
That's a Devi league. This team I won the championship with. This team, I didn't. Like, this is actually my worst team probably. Don't give a flock. I'm balanced, but like I want to say I'm like middle of the analyzer probably. Yeah, number 3 in the analyzer. And then this doesn't show the tag, but okay.
Sorry. I thought you were done.
This all I'll say left. This doesn't show the tag because technically it's listed as Fletsky, but me and Fletsky share this team, and that's the team.
That's a fan. All right.
Fan.
So Zingenti here. This team is in very good shape. You have a very good competitive window with Drake May, Bo Nix as your top quarterbacks. Obviously, QB3 is a little overrated, but you don't have one, admittedly.
Yeah.
You do have a backup quarterback in Jarrett Stidham who can play if Nix is hurt or something like that. Genty, Hampton, McCaffrey, Kyron, these guys are going to be wagons for you. St. Brown, London, T. Higgins, Jalen Waddle, and such. Loveland is your main tight end. If we sort by contending,
27.
If we sort by contending, you're not actually the number 1 in contending value because this guy has a fucking wagon of a couple of first receivers, but you do have an extra first of buying power, like you said.
Yeah.
Where is that first? for
Probably
East. Oh God, it's a perfect
wow.
pair. Oh,
Oh, he's Josh Allen and
this stinks worse than Drake's album. Oof. It smells. So, I mean, you got this guy's first, which is presumably going to be early, and you have your own first as well, which is presumably going to be late. When you have teams like this, what do we call them? We call them Thanos. We say, like, you're going out and acquiring Infinity Stones. Like, if you want to take Jalen Waddle plus your first and go get a better receiver, go do it. You want to take T. Higgins plus your first, go get a better receiver, go do it. You want to take Kyron Williams plus your 27 first and get a better receiver, go do it. Like, that's what you do with teams like this.
Corey, what am I about to say?
The graphic thing that I made.
We shopping in Louis Vuitton, baby.
Ew,
We getting expensive. We spending up, baby. Let's go. Money spread on them fools.
Yeah, no, this is what you do with a team like this. So yeah, I mean, you said any other moves I should make? Well, let's go to the shit teams in your league. If anybody has a great asset that's going to move the needle.
Try to get his first too. Fuck it.
Yeah, I mean, this guy's team. I mean, maybe go get Josh Allen from him if you want. Like you have Bo Nix. Straight up. Would you trade that guy his own one and Bo Nix for Josh Allen, knowing that pick is probably a top 3 pick?
Yeah, it's Josh.
Like, because you got Josh Allen and Drake May. Like your team's fucking heat.
Like, yeah, look at your team. Go do that.
Yeah, that's what I'd be offering him, because then he goes,
I'm not doing it for any cheaper than that, by the way.
I'm like, brother, your best receiver is Michael Wilson. Yeah. Your best running back is Chuba Hubbard. Your team is ass, bro.
How did he get there? He didn't even have his first this year.
Yeah, this is rough, man.
What absolute horseshit of a team. The America. Let's see what he has. How is he worse than the other guy? The America. Like, what the fuck is going on?
This guy's Josh Allen. That's the only reason.
Oh, that's all he has.
He has Josh Allen and a bunch of shit. I mean, you could, again, more teams like this guy's where you could go after a Jalen Hurtz upgrade from Bo Nix. You could go after a Breece Hall if you want to upgrade from Kyron Williams. I think that would make sense. George Pickens, maybe you could upgrade from Jalen Waddle to George Pickens. Yeah, find the shit teams in your league. Go make more consolidation moves, and that's pretty much where you're at with life in general. This guy, Jane Daniels, you want to upgrade from Bo Nix to Jane Daniels, you could do that. Malik Neighbors is on this guy's team. Maybe you could take Jalen Waddle plus 27 first and see how close that gets you to Malik Neighbors. You probably got to add more stuff on top of that, but you get my point. So yeah, that's what I'd be doing. You're Thanos collecting Infinity Stones. You're shopping at Louis Vuitton, as Danny said.
Shopping at Louis Vuitton, baby.
That's what you're doing. That's what you're doing with a team like this. So congrats to you for building this team from the ground up, because it's in very, very good shape. And we're glad we were able to help.
And even if you didn't say it in the prompt, trust me, we could tell that you were built from the advice that we gave, because clearly you have a good head on your shoulders and you've been making some good process moves, hence the #1 evaluation. That's the thing.
We also say you have a good head on your shoulders a lot, I've noticed.
That's my favorite saying for somebody that just knows how to make a good team.
If you're a ball knower, yeah.
Yeah, you got a good head on your shoulders.
Oh, damn it. Not damn it, because I appreciate the $93 that was just spent, but also I feel like you spending $93 warrants us doing this team.
Yeah,
right now.
Svckmaguch.
Svckmaguch. Shout out to Svckmaguch if you're in the chat right now.
Wait, that's just the team name.
Oh, the Caleb Williams fingernails. Yeah, I was gonna say, if you don't have Caleb Williams on this team, I'm gonna lose my mind.
Oh, that's epic.
Okay, so we have to cover this team because you just paid for
it.
And, yeah, we really appreciate you. And is that a 2.0 full price? Yeah, it's a 2.0 full price. So we appreciate that.
Yeah.
Just finished the draft. I feel like I'm close to being a strong contender, but I wanted to know what you guys think. What moves would you make? So
out of startup.
Out of a startup, fresh here. And he's one of the few kind of balanced teams. Everybody either picked a lane where they're like, I'm all in, I'm in purgatory, I'm a strong contender. A couple juggernauts out of the startup is pretty unfortunate.
Wait, I'm an idiot. No, I think he means rookie draft.
Oh,
sorry.
He probably finished the rookie draft. Okay.
I was gonna say it did show the team record. So yeah, my bad. I misread that.
How is this balanced, dude? This is a fucking good ass team.
It's a monster. Go to contending rankings. He's probably #1.
It's because there's a couple. No, he's number 6. It's balanced because there's a couple of like this guy's all in, for example, because he's got a couple of. I still don't see why this guy's team is ahead of yours, but anyways.
Yeah.
Rookie draft. Yeah. Okay. So yeah, this is a good team, man. You got when you look at the contending rankings, for some reason Hampton and those guys, their numbers are not loading properly, because he's definitely higher than 47 in ADP. He's definitely higher than 54 in ADP.
Question. I like Trevor Henderson a lot with this type of team. if none of the teams ahead of you are the one with Christian McCaffrey, I'd be willing to send Henderson for Christian McCaffrey.
Hey, listen, question. I don't like Trevion Henderson a lot, so I'm okay with that.
Well, let's see who has McCaffrey. Because if it's a team that's
it's got to be one of these contenders, surely.
But maybe not. Maybe people kind of just do their own thing. Maybe it's the purgatory team
function.
Some people are dumb. Okay.
I mean, this guy's team's in good shape.
Okay, Barkley, maybe Barkley.
Sure. Let's go look for Saquon.
I do think transitioning Henderson into more point equity this year's.
All right, there you go. Purgatory team.
This caca PP dog shit bullshit.
Yeah, that's my team. I'm willing to move Henderson. Yeah, moving from Henderson to Barkley would make a lot of sense in terms of your team structure. Yeah. The one thing I will say about Henderson, like, because I've shit on him a lot.
I like Henderson, but
he could still be good. Like, if he has a top 12 season this year, he's going to probably be way more valuable than Barkley.
Corey, you don't like Henderson, but I do like Henderson. So I agree with you. With that being said, knowing the window of your team, knowing that you are just on the cusp of being the strongest point equity team, in my opinion, like even though you're number 5 or number 6, it's so flatlined at the top to the point where I'd be willing to swing here. And if you can get a guy that can give you 15 to 16 plus points per game, that's going to be great. I also love that move, trading Waddle for Kraft.
Yeah, considering Waddle was your wide receiver 6 at the time, that definitely makes a lot of sense. I like Ferguson as a good backup tight end, but I'm glad you got an upgrade there. Yeah, I mean, some people might not be okay with the whole Caleb Williams, Kyler Murray, Daniel Jones quarterback core, but I'm personally fine with that, especially with Drew Aller as a 4th quarterback. Yeah, I think you've built up a really strong contending team here, and maybe you're not like the best overall contending value, but I just like a lot of the players like on your team. And not only that, but this team can contend for multiple years. So while Trevion Henderson, yes, we could trade him for a Barkley, for a McCaffrey, the winning window of this team is the next 4 seasons. So if you don't want to trade Trevion Henderson because you do feel good about him long term, you could always just hold him because he fits the winning window that is aligned with the remainder of your team. Like Jeremiah Love might not get out to the best start. Carnell Tate might not get out to the best start. Tucker Kraft might not get out to the best start. This team is actually like quietly almost a house money type of team. Unfortunately, you don't have your own picks, so you do kind of need them to produce right away. But I do like how it's aligned. Like I think the team is really well set up. One thing you could do because you don't have your picks is shift from a Carnell Tate, because you just said you just finished the rookie draft. So I'm assuming you got Love and Tate and whatnot at your picks. You could shift from a Carnell Tate to a competitive receiver who's valued the same. Like if you wanted to sell Carnell Tate for Teteroa McMillan, you could do that because at least McMillan's probably gonna be a little bit more productive for your team that doesn't have its own 1st round pick.
Maybe I'm not even convinced of that.
Maybe not. Maybe not, but
like I haven't ranked that way.
Maybe you could go up from Tate too to get into the Lamb, into the, like you have London already, but like it get up a little bit further into a competitive receiver.
No, sorry, that was just on off the cuff thought. I think the market would obviously have it that way, but like the more I'm thinking about it, like why are we so confident with Ted over Tate in a redraft perspective this year? Because ultimately they're going to probably be about a round of difference in ADP, and I might lean Tate.
Yeah. I think that's definitely fair.
I like the offense. Like I really like the upside of Tennessee this year. Maybe that comes back to bite me, but it's Brian Daboll. It's a quarterback that I think is talented. An offensive line that's getting better. True number 1 receiver. Like, yeah, it's a lot of similarity to what Ted had coming into last year.
Yeah, he said he tried going after the Genty manager, but they wouldn't budge. Yeah, again, here's the thing. Sometimes when you're in this situation, you exhaust all your avenues. Like I have a team called Can't Wait where I'm in this situation too, where I'm like, my team is really good and I'm actually number 1 in the analyzer. And I'm like, I want to buy more players, but I exhausted my avenues already. The guy who has Justin Jefferson told me he wanted to hold. There's nothing I can do. The guy who has CeeDee Lamb told me he thinks he can compete this year, even though he's got no fucking shot in hell based on my opinion, but he thinks he can compete. So I'm going to have to wait until reality hits him in the fucking face and tells him he can't actually compete with anything. So then I can get CeeDee Lamb from him or whatever. So sometimes you exhaust all your avenues. Just make sure you do that every couple months or whatever. Reach out to them. Hey, just, anything change? I'm still interested in Justin Jefferson, or I'm still interested in Ashton Genty, or I'm still interested in whoever.
Housekeeping.
Yeah. I feel blessed. Just finished your last underdog stream and now you're live. Yeah, there you go, Mike.
Appreciate that.
The one thing I wanted to mention just really quick before we go on, Caleb C. Morse, I believe his name is Caleb. If I'm wrong, I apologize. Yeah. C. Morse in the stream purchased an annual Mother Flocker and then submitted a review, but only is credited here with a live DD, not a 2.0. So I'm curious why he has maybe he paid for the 1.0 then. I'm not sure. No, it says free. So he just bought an annual and he just redeemed his voucher, but for some reason it's just a regular review. Maybe on the back end, it doesn't auto load a 2.0 for him, and he just redeemed it as a tier 1. Just so you know, C. Morris, if you're still in here, you probably had to swap the selection to a tier 2 review when you redeemed your voucher, but it was a tier 2 voucher. So maybe we'll go back and forth in the DMs after the stream is over.
For sure.
But that should be a 2.0 for you. But we'll cover that for you next stream because it was a free submission. So we're going to make you wait on it. But anything else on Svckmaguch's team here? Because I'm starving. So we got to sign off.
I'm starving too. I was actually about to order food and then I forgot.
Yeah. What? Any other thoughts on this team? Anything else?
Nothing that jumps off the page. Overall, I mean, realistically, you're looking at the top of this team. You have needle movers. You have, 6 green label players. You have a guy that I would personally even consider a fringe green label player there with Tucker Kraft. Like, I understand he's number 6, but realistically, once the season starts and he's healthy, man, I think he's going to be one of the biggest risers on the market. Like, I don't see a reason why he can't be the clear tight end 4 in Dynasty when he's producing 14.5 points per game off the bat in the first 5 weeks of the year.
Yeah, this team especially is, if you are 5-0 or 4-1 or 6-2 or something, you're going to be in great shape because by the end of the season this year, Kraft will be healthy. Jeremiah Love will have taken over the workload. Carnell Tate will probably be playing better. This is the type of team that if you can tread water early on in the season, it's really good for you. Also, John's in the chat going, I feel bad that this guy took Tate over Tyson.
That's the correct choice.
Yeah, it's the correct opinion. But I mean, you're pro Tyson, obviously. Here's the thing. If you are, hey, Tyson's over Tate, I'll stand on business or whatever, go nuts. You're going to get plus on top of Tate for Tyson. So you should own Tyson in pretty much every Dynasty league you're in if that's the case.
There you go. I mean, obviously everybody's entitled to their own film opinion. Like there's going to be people that are pro Tyson one. There's going to be people that are pro Lemon one.
Which is me.
Me personally, the minute that I watched Tate, he was the first one I've watched that I watched. So I thought, oh, wow. Oh my God. Like we're maybe I'm overrating him. And then I watched the other two. I'm like, no, like all 3 of these guys are just really good. It's just for me, Tate is the number 1. So
have fun with you, Jerry Judy. Yeah. I mean, I'm not going to go that far and call Tyson Jerry Judy, but I do think that is more.
Honestly, like, I think obviously like that would be like how it doesn't work out. But
yeah,
I do think like if he does work out, there is a lot of Stephon Diggs there.
There is, but there is also a lot of TikTok routes that take place there. So,
sure.
I love, that's one of my favorite terms about Jordan Tyson, TikTok route runner. Okay. Anyways, rest of this team, we're going to give you the lowdown on the Dynasty Decisions 2.0. We are hungry and out of gas here, so we probably won't be able to discuss any more on top of this stream, but we will give you some tightened up shit here for your thing. Danny's on DoorDash or whatever, Uber Eats.
I was on Uber Eats getting 50% off sushi. It was pick 3. So like obviously it comes with 6 rolls. Pick 3 for $15.50. So I'm like, may as well.
Bro shits his brains out before our recording today, and he goes, "Dude, my stomach is so fucked. I don't know why." Bro, you're ordering 50% off sushi. That's why your stomach is fucked.
It's yo.
I mean,
at least it's not gas station sushi.
All I'm saying, this guy's ordering gas station sushi and wondering why his fucking stomach is
no. It's from a place that I've gotten before. I know it's not just complete fugazi.
Anyways,
I think it's August 8 actually.
Yeah, we got might as well be gas station sushi. Anyways, we really appreciate all of you guys who have supported us. You can see it on the screen there. Your username is on there. We are going to get to all these Dynasty Decisions 2.0s over the next couple of days. So for the 10 to 12 of you guys that'll be waiting on those, we should have most of those sent to you out either today, tomorrow, or Sunday. So yeah, we'll get those to you guys when you get them. And then, we should be good to go. Appreciate you guys for staying in here. If you were in here for all 2 hours and 27 minutes of us yapping, we really appreciate you. Hit the like button down below. Subscribe. Annual Mother Flockers. Again, you get a free Dynasty Decisions 2.0. So if that interests you, you can check out the link in the description. Hit the subscribe page. Choose Flock Fantasy, promo code FSE. And then when you submit your voucher, which maybe happened to Caleb here, make sure you select the Dynasty Decisions 2.0 because he might have accidentally redeemed for the 1.0 there. But yeah, really appreciate you guys. Appreciate all the support. And we will talk to you soon. Peace out.